Welcome to America's Third Party. Okay, we're seeing a lot of couch potatoes sitting around right now watching what's happening. We have seen some amazing things. If you're a couch potato like the rest of us, you know what I'm talking about. We've seen some amazing things recently that shock us. This recent missile test a few days ago, which appeared to be coming out of Catalina, LA area, was telegraphed in advance by the military, saying there was going to be some military operations at LAX. And basically, what appeared to be what some people are calling a Trident missile test off the skyline above Los Angeles. We're not really sure what it was, but inquiring minds want to know, and we're all sitting here wondering, how can we save ourselves from imminent disaster? Hello, good evening. It was a Trident 2. Is that your concurrence on that? Lot Lizard, hey, how you doing? Did you find a place to sleep, a tent or something? Silver price is dropping, and it's Monday Night Football. Yeah, and the silver prices are dropping, Silver Stack, because, well, it's a good time to buy, yeah, but it's a paper market. Silver and gold are no different than stocks. There was a time when you knew how many gold bars there were in the world or how many silver bars there were in the world. Now it's kind of like hocus pocus. Somebody may know, but the truth is they can print up paper silver and sell it left and right. Stock value. It's kind of propelled by manipulation. Thank you.
I noticed you did those chicken wings.
Yeah, I made some chicken wings slowly.
Chicken
They're steamed, I guess. That's the best way to describe it. You're looking at a $12 silver? Yeah, that's
Wow.
Scary. Before you buy? Yeah, well, it's probably at 14 something now. Hello,
Those
Sarah.
straps.
Yeah, Sarah's
I guess
here.
I just have to go out and buy more
Yeah,
when it drops.
that's a good move to do, yeah.
Hello, David.
Hello, yeah.
Dear.
Yeah, well, it's been a weird morning. Somebody said, let's talk about this massive blue UFO that appeared on the 7th of November over Los Angeles, and people have HD coverage of it here. We watched it live that night from our show, and these guys are
Oh my god.
looking at it directly.
Oh my god, get that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but it's a wide angle.
Holy shit.
Okay, we're going to take a look here and just advance it a little bit. We'll get into there it is. As you
UFO.
can see, it's pretty intense.
So, that darn missile testing by the military.
Yeah, that's what I believe it was. And they even pre-announced that there's going to be something going on in the skies. If they were doing a strike eastward to test their systems and check, sonar and radar, make sure everything is up to snuff, running a test missile does make sense. It would have been nice to know this, but then again, where's the, you can't tell your people in the country that you're going to do this. It automatically telegraphs your enemies. Doing it also is a telegraph to your enemies that something is going on. All right, thank you. Okay, everything's going on just great. Or you believe it's Project Bluebeam. That's another theory, that it's some sort of a hologram. That looked like a real missile. It really did. I didn't think it was a hologram.
It was an interesting color, I would say.
Don't worry, David. When you're president, we'll give you full debriefings on our tests. Thank you, Guest 775. Are you here from the military?
He said steamed chicken legs, yeah.
Yeah, I'm making steamed. I got this great deal at Trader Joe's. They had this $1.50 a pound.
I know, that was pretty cool.
These are the really good chicken legs, the ones that aren't brutally tortured before they die.
Yeah, it said no antibiotics and
Yeah.
grass-fed or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then now the recent report, and this hit the Time magazine, they had 2 pieces of bacon laying on top of the Time magazine saying, don't eat processed meat. And there's this big talk about how we are now looking at tainted meat supplies with DNA.
Yeah.
2% of the meat out there has been tainted in an 18% sampling.
Well, they say 2% early.
2% in an 18% sampling has been tainted. Now that's a
Oh.
really weird. So it's a small percentage, but they took an 18% sampling of all the packaged
18%
meat,
of the meat.
and then they got to 2% result of that, of a human DNA present. And I don't know if this is just BS or true, but because what it seems to me like, it's an effort to turn us all into grazing cattle that eat soybean GMO products instead of beef. It's what's for dinner. You know, that's a trademarked statement. I'm not using it for personal gain. I'm just showing you that's the trademark. They actually really are going to get hurt hard, the beef industry, by these new recent bits of information. I've seen the hot dog stacks at our local food market start to stack up now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people are not eating it. I've seen people like going, I don't want to eat this. And I was like, oh, I
Too
like hot dogs.
expensive.
No, they just love
Oh,
hot
the
dogs.
hot dogs.
Yeah.
They're not eating the hot dogs.
Okay, please don't be in any way racist in the show.
Good evening, friends.
Thank you. I'm going to let you talk to Sarah. I'm going to be right back. I'm checking on something.
Yeah.
I'll be right in.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's kind of a weird time we're living in, you know.
Soylent hot dogs. It is, people. Yeah, well, they said what was kind of odd. They did say it was even in vegan hot dogs. So even Soylent Green. David does a fantastic job pleasing me. Thank you very much. You're not feeling so good this morning? If it's morning where you are, you must be in a different part of the world than where I am. I don't really want the recipe preparation, but you can go ahead and post it if you would like. Thank you. You don't ever want to know what's in the food you eat. That's funny. Okay. Hey, David Voy. I guess it has been a while. And thank you very much for the compliment, A1. You have not trained me to be a spy. Or if you have, you've done a good job because I don't know that I am a spy. My hair hangs really down. It's really long, so it goes all the way down. You're just trying to be nice. Oh, thank you for trying to be nice. Last time I had KFC, I didn't have a really good experience. I had a weird dream like that, 1935, but it was just a weird dream. No, I would never date Bernie Sanders. Thank you. Alright, have I, no, 328, I never dreamed that. Oh, ha ha ha. Well, I'm pretty good at, those shooting games, 7751. That's about it on Xbox 360. I'm not that great, but I'm pretty good at the flying one. I like that one. Tonight's the night. If you're feeling right. I didn't see the university. Oh, yes, we've seen you play Call of Duty. You're better in real life. Maybe. I didn't see anything. I haven't checked the news lately, so I guess I could go check the news and look into what's happening in the University of Missouri. I have no idea. Maybe some other time preparation. As soon as we can get Saturday Night Live to invite him. So Missouri's president's resignation shows a realm where young minorities have power. The football players, African American football players at the University of Missouri tweeted they were going on strike until President Tim Wolf resigns or is removed from office. He quit after the football team walked out. And they stated the reasons for their boycott, and they confirmed the game versus BYU. Lawmakers and activists are underwhelmed by SeaWorld's plan to end the orca show. SeaWorld announced Monday that it would end its orca shows, was greeted with muted praise from some lawmakers and activists who've been clamoring for the park to change its treatment of killer whales. There's a $1 million bond for officers in a shooting death of a Louisiana 6-year-old. A Louisiana district attorney has recused himself from prosecuting the case of the two police officers who allegedly killed a 6-year-old boy while pursuing his father's car. Oh, is that what happened? Absolutely not. 3463619. No one would ever do that. This show is a little bit funnier than Saturday Night Live. That's true. Obama and Netanyahu are trying to move past their rift over the Iran nuclear deal. There's going to be election results posted in Myanmar. Maybe Suu Kyi will win. That would be interesting. Already twice. Man, that's a lot. Neither. 328. Neither. So, University of Virginia fraternity filed a $25 million defamation suit against the Rolling Stone magazine. The fraternity was the focus of a debunked Rolling Stone article about a gang rape, and so they filed a $25 million lawsuit against the magazine Monday, saying the piece made the frat and its members the object of an avalanche of condemnation. No, I don't think that they should have their scholarships revoked because they threatened to walk out unless a president quit. I mean, I just wonder why the presidents quit or resigned so quickly. If he didn't feel like it was, either he felt like he did something wrong or he felt like he was just tired of being the president or of that university, or I do wonder why. So maybe he thought he did something wrong. The Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. Christmas dinner party. High shiny puffy coat. Yes, it's getting chilly here too. Everyone should have a shiny puffy coat. What are you talking about? Belly button rings, lot lizard? Oh. I don't answer those kinds of questions. I'm thinking about it, Billies. I'm thinking about it. Trump responds to George H.W. Bush book. He claims he wanted me for VP in '88. And Ivanka Trump wears metallic pumps for her line to support Donald Trump on Saturday Night Live. And Justin Bieber hopes Selena Gomez and he will get back together. All right. Oh, he was forced to quit because a boycott of the game would cost the university $1 million if they had to cancel it. Wow. That's probably more than he makes. It's crazy how football rules all the universities. When I thought people went to university for like academics, I guess I was wrong. I'm not a fan of the United Negro College Fund. I don't believe that college scholarships, I mean, people can give away money whatever basis they want to, but it's just difficult. Yes, it's true. Most people do turn to the enjoyment of reading long after they leave schools and colleges. Oh, that's an interesting one, 775. And what about Justin Bieber's real name? Wow. Interesting scissor fight. Florida cop shows up to accept an award from Mothers Against Drunk Driving and he's completely drunk. That's ridiculous. Well, I'll go get my Coke tonight. And I'll let you decide if it's puffy enough for you. No, I'm really not ready for Turkey Day. Being ready for Turkey Day means I would have a turkey. And I don't have a turkey. So, no, I'm not ready. Oh, okay. All right, 775. What? Oh, that makes sense. 4414. Model my clothes for you tonight. No, it's too cold. So what school do you go to, 2157? Well, not yet. Meow TV2. Eventually, probably. Wow, I think that you should go somewhere else, the end of the world. Like, to the end of the world. Bye. Youth is wasted on the wrong people. Yeah, I've heard that. 777, I'm gonna purge you. Even though there are racist people out there, let's not be them. It'll be on the news soon. Okay, 21579. That makes sense. Oh, scientists may have found a secret chamber in King Tutankhamun's tomb. Might be a burial place of Queen Nefertiti. That's cool. Can't we all just get along? David's doing important business. He'll be back shortly. And, like, for instance, getting his coffee. It's always very important to have a cup of coffee when talking to you. I'm a little bit of a controlling person. A little bit, not too much though. I was just looking at some other issues in the news.
Okay, what are they?
Not that much. Divers have an extremely close call with a great white shark. SeaWorld is ending their orca shows. And that's about it.
SeaWorld is ending their orca shows. I wonder why.
There was some kind of lawyers and things like that.
Lawyers? Problems with the orcas? Hi, guys. Are the shows better without me?
No, I'm going to have to purge you for that.
Yeah, that's very demoralizing. I feel hurt and abandoned by my one follower. 63 million should look out for bad weather. Forecasters are warning 63 million people in the central United States to have an eye out for bad weather this week as colliding air masses threaten to generate high winds and possibly tornadoes. You know, I used to talk about HARP controlling the weather. You know, when you're in the middle of a tornado, you really don't care who created it. And you're not in the chat at all. Hi. I'm in the chat. Several more days, it will be 52 years ago they killed our best president, John F. Kennedy. Yes, I agree. I really think he was one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. And I don't let people trash him on the Maryland issue or any of the other womanizing issues. I really don't. I think what he tried to do was buck the system. And the system just took him down. It's tough when you have a real honest president deal with the corruption underlying the system that we have today. There's not much you can do but keep putting honest guys out there and taking risks to stop it. You can't change it any other way. You guys will never be able to change it at the local level. That propaganda, many people talk about it. Think globally, act locally. No, I acted locally, and 90% of my signs were stolen by these people that say, act locally. The Democrats stole my signs. So did the Republicans, I'm sure. I met a couple of Republicans that were yelling at me when I was putting my signs back up. Yeah. Yeah, but Kennedy was the best, yeah. When it came to self-defense, you know, he didn't realize that not only you can't drive around in an open limousine with no Secret Service around you, in full view of windows everywhere, but you have to also concern yourself with the reality that you have internal leaks within the government. If I were going to clean up the government rather quickly, we'd have to lie detector everybody in the White House and then spread our way out. Everyone who got close to me would be lie detector. And we'd keep working our way out until we could get people we can trust. Solid people that we can verify. Now, lie detector tests have validity, but in court you can't use them. But there are a variety of lie detector tests that you can use on people. So you can maybe cheat one test, but you can't cheat all the tests. There are people that think they can cheat all the tests. Russian founder of RT News discovered dead in Washington, D.C. hotel room. Oh my gosh, this is a very amazing story. Thank you, Scissor Fight, for bringing this in. Let's take a look here. This guy who has been proposing all these honest journalistic efforts at RT, maybe he is a propaganda minister, but now he's dead. Russian founder of RT News discovered dead. There he is. In a DC hotel room. Wow. It was reported late on Friday that Mikhail Lesin, the former head of media affairs for the Russian government and the founder of Russia Today, was found dead in the hotel room that he was staying in. Yeah. Very few details about the case have been made public. cause of death was a heart attack. Was he anywhere near the jacuzzi when he was shot with the famous dart gun? Supposedly the CIA has a dart gun that they can spray frozen darts. It was revealed in actual Senate subcommittee hearings on the
Some U.S.
subject.
politicians have suggested that RT be banned in the U.S. for spreading propaganda. Oh, gee. Like the U.S. doesn't spread propaganda and everything that they say on the news is all the same.
In the worst ever ending game of hide and seek, really, Billy's color book knows something here. He says it was hide and seek for this guy, really? He was evading somebody who was after him? Maybe you know something we don't know, Billy's coloring book. Russian ships near data cables are too close for U.S. comfort. The U.S. are concerned about their data being compromised, and shutdowns in our internet and our telephony systems would occur at the beginning of an attack on our shores. Wow, this is just foaming the fear flame. The flames of fear. Fomenting the flames of fear. Hang on, let me go back to the chat room. I just throw things out. That's why I just do it there. Yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Justin Bieber, really? This is not... I wore a wig last week on Monday. Yeah. This is my real hair. I thought Monday would be kind of fun. People are trying to say, David, you got a very big forehead, so kind of play it down. So I'm trying to keep my hair as low as possible. No, it's not a wig. My real hair, you idiot. Hang on.
Okay.
No. We're not taking calls from that guy anymore. He's the only guy that calls us still. And it's kind of funny. He keeps thinking he's going to get through. You had like 10 chances, man. You blew every one of them. No, it's real. Yeah. You can see me pulling on the follicles and just tugging on them. You can't do that with a wig. She wants to they want you to do Halloween again, yeah.
That's
Sarah
pretty
looked
funny.
good. I know the wig, the Halloween show was really exciting. Hey, have you had your dinner in there? If you want some, go get it. If you're hungry.
Probably should.
Yeah. And then if you get sleepy, take a nap.
I think I will.
All right.
I thought too.
Thank you so much for coming in and giving me some time on the show. If you want to stop back in about half an hour or an hour is good. An hour.
Okay, I'll do an hour.
Yeah, like lucky boy. Yeah, Justin Bieber haircut. Yeah, Selena Gomez like you. Selena Gomez likes me. Yes, thank you, 634. I heard Selena Gomez does like me. I'm not coloring it with any dyes. I'm using a natural plant protein called, well, I can't give the name. It's a Latin name. It's very complicated. Do you have a pen and pencil? You can write it down. Plantomia colorantantomo. Inunius. Vexus. Eduardo. Please don't even say these terrible things. You're hurting my feelings. I'm just giving her a little massage. My program was eventually developed for massages, but I am also useful for other things. I got rid of my false teeth. I have my fake ones on now. Yeah. The fake teeth are better than the false teeth.
Oh, that's so funny.
Susan Boyle, come on, guys.
That's fine.
She's a great singer. We're in the process, Richard. Yeah, I'm sure the law enforcement's working double time to catch all the swatters that are swatting people around the country. 200 swats going on a day in America. So the police state thing is happening more and more. Scissorfight says, why did the U.S. launch a nuclear missile that would be visible from L.A. without any warning? Well, everybody's asking that question. It's a great question. But, I mean, isn't that the obvious question? I mean, you want to make a 50-minute video about what we don't know, which is about 50 million things we don't know? That's what a lot of people are doing on the internet. They just talk about what they don't know and act like they do know it. So this would make a good 50-minute video. Uh-oh. What's happening? See, they're taking over my computer. No. Okay, was the U.S. government trying to send a message to someone Saturday night? I don't know. When the U.S. established a no-fly zone west of Los Angeles for a week, it raised the eyebrows of many. Yeah, they had a no-fly zone over LAX for like a week beforehand. Thank you guys for coming in and talking about a third party. We all would love for you to actually promote us by following us on Twitter @thirdparty. That would be kind of cool.
That's good considering this is all about politics.
Yeah. There it is, @thirdparty. I'm running for president. I'm David Sponheim. Sarah's going to be my vice president. We just are average people who really believe that we've got great solutions for the country. And we put together a whole lot of them on our website, AmericasThirdParty.com.
Yes, correct. Room service.
@thirdparty is our Twitter, yes. Please follow us. We put out great links at the end.
Read.
Richard, that's, calling my hair mad. You want to see what mad gay would... Let me show you. Hang on. Take a moment here.
No, we're just so relaxed and tired. 5312. I have no idea. 6349. When you find out, let us know. Hello, Bigman. I love being alive. I live my life. Sounds like you dislike me intensely. Everything you say is all negative about me. That's okay. No, I don't plan on doing that. 8378. I just enjoy my life.
Okay, this is mad. This is mad gay. This is mad gay. That's mad gay.
You should just leave that on all night.
I will. Well, that's her punishment for claiming my hair was mad gay.
Nettle root powder. Okay.
Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah. I was told.
I experienced new hair growth after taking nettle root powder.
Nettle root is great. I'm not suffering from hair loss. I keep a very short hair. I live in a Navy town. If I don't have short hair, people start to think I'm weird. Yeah. It's bad enough I did this terrible blackface video that everyone says they don't like, which I think is great. I think it's funny as hell. And it's a good impersonation of Barack Obama. But the last thing I want to do is appear weird, out of touch with the local yokels. 10 years younger, yeah, I know. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? Hey, what's up, dude? It's cool. Yeah, totally, dude. Official stresses need for reconciliation. Official stresses need for reconciliation. Cautions spouses to explore other options and not to abuse right to the end of the marriage. There are people who are exerting Sharia law. Yeah, and in the Sharia courts, they're even asking the husbands to not kill their wives for making a look at another guy. Yeah, apparently it's okay to do that in Sharia law. I haven't read Sharia law. I'm not really that interested. Banana Girl comes in and says, fake hair. Really? Wow, Banana Girl, you're a genius.
Hello, Ronnie.
Totally. Hey, Ronnie, what's going on? All right, I think we can handle everything from here on unless I warm up my coffee.
Go warm up your coffee.
And then I'll take it from there.
Yeah.
All right.
You seem like you need some more.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I'll just keep going. So I hope you all are having a great day, a great Monday, had a good day at work, and if you work, or just a good day doing what you want to do, I guess, if you don't work. Wow. I think there's some people that just need to go away. Thank you. Yeah, there's it's been an awesome day for you. That's fantastic. It's been a good day, I would say. A little bit long, but not too long, actually. We need to, do that. Yeah, some work, no work, Sarah, no money either. Yeah, a lot of people that don't work. Well, some people that work still don't get any money either. You had a great day. You went to work and then you got paid to not work. They wanted you to leave. Wow. How do you pull that one off? 1865. No, I've not seen the movie Room. You are, ma'am. Thank you, Dry King. Yeah, I wonder, right? Who do you think it is, Drag King? Billy's coloring book? Alright. No, not true. 42880. What did you do to the poor monkeys, 42800? Where did they go? What have you been doing? No. I didn't say that. Just said David has never heard a fly or a monkey or any button. I am not wearing a scarf. I'm wearing a hair. I'm wearing a scarf made out of my own hair. Choking myself with my own scarf there. That's kind of bizarre that my hair is long enough to wear it as a scarf. That's a little freaky. That's pretty long hair. When you look into the can. Hair scarf is going to be a thing now, like, wear it around. This is my scarf. It's really my hair. It's a terrible film. Oh, Olis, that's a terrible film that Beekman's suggesting. I don't think they wear their hair like that. I have so much hair. If I wore it up here, that would be a different thing. But wearing it like that, I think that is kind of a bizarre thing. Alright, gonna check out anything else going on in the news. I think I'll check out USA Today. I like that source of news. A 6-year-old Louisiana boy was buried, and a $1 billion bond for the cops charged in his shooting. Out of the loop today, we've got what you missed. Short list. Mizzou president quits. Missouri University president quit. SeaWorld kills off the killer whale show. They got rid of the killer whale shows. And Lake Huron's 102-year-old shipwreck. Really? That's interesting. Alright, let's see what's coming next.
Yeah, those are
I know, I just got home. What's going on in the world? Could this be David's son? David doesn't have a son.
No, I do not, thank goodness.
No. That's just bizarre preparation. Whoa, I did not know that, Victory. A single rye plant can grow roots to cover almost 400 miles? That's unbelievable. Yeah. Well, I would never do acid or DMT, but thank you. A faculty group had announced plans for a walkout. Football players were on strike. Protesters calls. Oh, the calls for Tim Wolf's resignation were deafening. They said he hadn't done enough to combat racism on campus. Wolf announced he would step down as president. It's been brewing for months, the unrest. There was a grad student's high-profile hunger strike and other nonviolent protests that gained national attention through social media. They had the hashtag #ConcernedStudent1950. The football players are headed back to practice. He said he will step down at the end of the year.
All right, I can hang out for the next time.
They say the university is a hostile environment for black students who make up about 8% of the school's undergraduate population.
There you go. That's a good reason Missouri is a hotbed for problems. And the buck stops here in Missouri. That's the place where our former president, who Sarah doesn't really like Truman that much, do you? Because he dropped the A-bomb on Hiroshima
Correct.
and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
Do you want to try the black wig, the brown wig? Yeah, in your hair.
No. I mean,
it's wig night.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I guess I can do wig night.
This isn't dress up. We want to talk about some serious issues. A lot of people are really.
So there's
a
lot of ships that were lost in 1913 to a great storm in the Great Lakes, and the last ship has been found on the floor of Lake Huron.
Wow, the last ship. I guess it's that's not the time of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. That was 1975. If I recall correctly, or 73, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Famous song by Gordon Lightfoot.
Edmund Fitzgerald.
The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Yeah, anyway, experts debunk WHO report say eating processed meat doesn't cause cancer. Thank you, Scissor Fight. I appreciate that because I tend to think the World Health Organization is working.
Right, 1975.
Yeah, right. I believe the WHO, the World Health Organization, is working for. That's got to be purged.
I know. God.
The IMF. And I think the IMF wants us all to be hooked up to the Monsanto GMO train. Yeah. I think they really don't want a lot of people on the planet, folks. So really, Conspiracy Monday there's really nothing to it. I used to make a big show about talking about all these false flags and things. There's really nothing to talk about there. If you believe false flags, great. If you don't, doesn't matter. The real bottom line here is what they're trying to do is depopulate the world. Thank you, Sarah, for coming in.
Yeah, I'll be back in an hour or so.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think maybe you might be right. I mean, when I was a kid, I kind of decided to not have children of my own. Was that part of their depopulation plan?
Well, maybe, yeah. Not wanting to have kids might be part of it. Maybe we were all subject to predictive programming and the control of our brains to not want to have kids. I didn't want to bear the responsibilities when I heard that every child costs $350,000 per child to raise. And I realized that I just wanted to hang out and do some serious surfing, you know. So I totally got gnarly waves and totally didn't get involved with, anyone that would totally get pregnant, whatever. Hi guys. David, what do you think of the accuracy of the movie Zero Dark 30? I haven't really checked the accuracy of it yet. Hey, cut it out with your discussion about trivializing rape. I refuse to allow anyone to do that here. Miko does not need to show her picture. Stop egging her on. She's somewhat of a nymphomaniac. Florida cop shows up 2 wasted to accept award for DUI arrests from Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Are you serious? Talk about hypocrisy reigning supreme, everybody. Well, Zero Dark 30 was following the terrorist attacks of 9/11, Beekman. You know, Osama bin Laden becomes one of the most wanted men on the planet, blah, blah, blah. It's a propaganda movie, in my opinion, tilting people to believe in this traditional view the 9/11 Commission report put out. I'm not blazed. How dare you? God. I like my steaks medium. I prefer them now, especially that I found out that beef byproducts have human DNA. I want everything cooked. Real good. I won't eat beef byproducts now. I'm convinced. I guess the predictive programming worked with me. I was on the line with hot dogs, and I know I still have my survival pack filled with Vienna sausages I'll have to eat in the event I'm hungry. But I'll always be saying, Sarah, do we trust this Vienna sausage? She always said, yeah, get the Vienna sausages. They're okay. I don't know. They're from Vienna. I don't think they have DNA in them. You know, I don't think we need to know statements from people like you, man. Yeah, you're starting to get a little bit weird. In fact, that's going to the FBI. That little snippet right there, claiming to be a mass murderer and telling people you'll tell us where the bodies are. I mean, dude, you realize that people are tracking you at the NSA right now? You don't realize that everything you're doing through whatever VPN you're going through, if you're smart enough to do that, is being run by the government. The government runs all those free VPNs, in case you guys were wondering. You didn't know that? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't want to tell you. Yeah, you don't have any anonymity. All right. Meats are bled, most fluids are injected. Okay, thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm going to get to that story in just a second. Why don't you just fire stories at me? Well, it obviously, from my assessment, which is the Cliff Notes, Beekman, I believe that it doesn't properly characterize what it was. Surf's up, man. Yeah, totally. The government has put you into the irrelevant douche file? Well, thank you, Richard. I'm going to purge you. Florida cop shows up too wasted to accept award for DUI arrests from Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Can you believe this? Officer Michael Slega of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department showed up at Mothers Against Drunk Driving conference in Fort Lauderdale, so drunk that he could not even walk straight. Slega was scheduled to receive an award at the conference for making over 100 DUI arrests, but he actually showed up drunk himself, and it assumed that he drove himself to the conference in that state of mind. However, the officer denies that he drove drunk and insists that he only had 1 or 2 drinks before the conference. Do you think somebody slipped him a Mickey? It's possible. Now, here's a total scumbag, according to this story. Caught on surveillance kicking and beating a woman. You want to watch this? Anybody? Yeah, a hypocrite police officer with 100 DUIs shows up drunk. He was representing, oh yeah. I can't do this, man. I can't click that link. Yeah, that's a Fish Heads is just as copyright protected from Barnes and Barnes. And this story from RT about the leader of Russian founder of RT News discovered dead in Washington D.C. hotel room. Oh man, these stories are just getting worse and worse. Let me get some music. Okay, wait a second. The story from human DNA found in hot dogs may be false too, folks. Whoa. This is another one. They were doing all kinds of psyops against the American people right now. One of those things is to get us to stop eating hot dogs or any beef byproducts because, like I said, they want us to eat Soylent Green. Of course I complimented the police. I complimented the police when they swatted me at the house here. Yeah, I did. I said, you did a good job. You followed procedure. You handled the procedure properly, I said. Yeah. I can't play anything, Beekman. YouTube will shut our show off the air if I do. You don't get it, do you? You're having a hard time coming around, Beekman. It's taken forever. Oh my God. 10 times more dark money has been spent for 2016 elections, according to U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin. Soliciting contributions to her campaign fund, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin warned her supporters about the dangers of dark money. Okay, let's look at this story here. You probably saw the alarming headlines claiming that hot dogs... I guess I'm looking over here, so I might as well look over there. Hot dogs are containing human DNA. A startup company called Clear Labs said they had found traces of human DNA in 2% of the products sampled, but don't worry, there's no evidence that hot dog lovers are unwitting cannibals, reports the New York Times. Thank you. The discovery is more of a matter of tiny bits of hair and skin in the air showing up as technology allows tests to take on a laser focus. There's this mentality that you can find a study that says something, it is irrefutably correct. Food and technology writer Dan Nosowitz said in an interview, when in fact it's chaos in the scientific world when it comes to nutrition. Well, thank goodness Scissorfied did the hard work here that I should have done. Thank you, man. And here's the other story about 10 times more dark money has been spent for the 2016 elections. Jeez. It's spinning out of control. So yeah, get back to eating Slim Jims and Vienna sausages. Come on, guys. Don't worry about it. Little bits of hair. Hello. But I still believe that they want to push us towards Soylent Green. Yeah. It's the GMOs that are produced, that are resistant to glyphosate, that is the dangerous chemical in our system. These GMO products are showing up with producing tumors in rats. It's just not cool. Human hair. I don't know what kind of hair. It could be, it could be genitalia hair. I don't know. Could you check with the study and go to that site and ask the journalist there, who's probably just a robot? Every time I email a journalist, I get no response. I'm beginning to believe they're just names of robots. David, here's a video that compliments the plot. How can I play it right now? I'm in the middle of we do this on Friday, Freedom Friday. We talk about police brutality. We'll compliment cops that night. Do you want me to play it right now, just to get it out of the air? And all right, thank you. I'll play that on Freedom Friday, so we'll show you the freedom of people who defend themselves, like cops. France, another doping allegation from France. World Anti-Doping Agency calls for Russia to be banned from the athletics. But of course, it could be that they are doping their athletes to get total notoriety and win the Olympics. I don't hate the police, man. It's not Don, it's Dave. I do everything I can to compliment. Like I said, I've complimented them about their proper procedure when they swatted me. I told you I compliment them. I told you, man, I compliment them. You keep denying what I'm telling you. Combined with SexBot will be the female robot first for political correctness that programmed to know everything known by man, including the Kama Sutra. Now you're really fantasizing. The name's Dave, not Don. World Anti-Doping Agency calls for Russia to be banned from athletics. This isn't really a story.
Suspicions that have now become impossible to dismiss. A 350-page report shows that doping has been prevalent in international athletics.
It's disappointing to see the nature and the extent of what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is not really a story, is it really? I mean, seriously? It can't possibly be. I mean, they don't do anything, really. Guest chat is on right now. I'm dealing with a terrible guest chatter here, so we're going to go off on guest chat. Thank you. Navy launches a second test missile off Southern California's coast, folks. This just in from Scissor Fight. Wow. What are they getting ready for? World War III? You think? I know they are. I know based on simple logic. that this government really wants to fight a war with Russia in the air and somehow come out dominant. Guess who loses? Everybody. Hello? Is there anybody in there? Our political environment is being run by a covert op out of the CIA right now. Whoever's running for president right now, besides myself, of course, is most likely compromised. That's safe to say. The U.S. Navy said it launched a second and final missile in planned exercise Monday afternoon from a submarine off the southern California coast. The Trident II missile from a ballistic submarine in the Pacific Ocean took place Monday afternoon. It was a Trident II missile. The blast-off took place to far less fanfare than Saturday night's launch, which provoked residents from San Francisco to Mexico to take social media, posting photos of an eerie-looking bluish-green plume smeared above the Pacific Ocean. Well, yeah, this is... I'm not going to freak out about this because this government of ours is prepared to, launch if necessary. It's kind of saber-rattling. You know what saber-rattling means? It's when you rattle your sabers in preparation for war. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And there's not even one Trident missile left anymore since 2005. So Meow TV's wondering, what the heck is going on? How come they're saying it's a Trident II missile when they don't even use them, according to him? Meow TV, you're so smart. You appointed yourself the smartest person in the world, didn't you? You're so special. Hey, Busy. No homo talk, please. Yeah, Drag King, I appreciate that. And you better not get high during the show. Yeah. Remember we've been talking to you about cutting back on that behavior of yours, Drag King? Well, you blew it last week, I'll tell you that. Billy's coloring book says it's just for show. You think it's a show of strength, Billy's coloring book, showing Russia that we can launch a Trident from anywhere, including LA, off the coast, to defend our nation? I almost think that's what it is. I almost think that's what the nature of this terrible thing that they did by blasting something in my atmosphere. Here they're using the entire West Coast as a nuclear, biological, and chemical testing area. We talk about it all the time, and nobody seems to care. And then you see a big light in the sky, and all of a sudden, everybody's all concerned. Well, I've got news for you, that in 3 days of any kind of a major event like an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, the stores in this country will empty, and they'll be like Venezuela. Look at Venezuela. This is taken a couple months ago. They're emptying out the stores. The economy's so bad. Yeah. So people are going through the final throes of the economic collapse there. Venezuela is not doing too good, man. So it could happen here, like Walmart after Black Friday. You've seen that. People are always looking for deals. Wow, so I'm really depressed tonight because there's so many weird things happening in the world and I'm having a hard time staying positive. Can somebody give me some positive hope for tomorrow? I know you must be positive about something. Some of you are positive about waking up tomorrow and going to work and continuing your job, right? I'm positive, but I'm just not in a big way. I see so many evil things going on around our foreign policy. Starting a war with Syria, Obama is. Starting a war literally is the wrong thing for this country. That depresses me. Seeing our environment kill off the plant and bio marine life, fauna in the intertidal zones, with this radiation leaking into the Fukushima Bay Area and then on into Pacific Ocean. 6 swimming pools a day of radiated water. You can't help but be depressed. I'm just telling it like it is, man. Well, I would love to compliment that officer, and I've got that queued up for Friday on Freedom Friday, so that officer can know, that he fought for freedom. Yes, absolutely. When you wake up tomorrow, it'll be a warm bed with a lovely woman. When you get up, you can eat whatever you like in the fridge. Well, that's every day for me, man. Yeah, so... Billy's coloring book, you're in fantasy land if you haven't achieved that yet. I did go walk for the wood. Yes, I walked in the woods and I stepped into a septic system. Yeah, it was not fun. It's somebody else's crap. Yeah, it was some abandoned septic system. But I'm okay. David, to be fair, for every anti-police video you show, you should also show that one. Oh, absolutely, Beekman. Yeah, that's why Freedom Friday we play those police brutality cases. You know, like the 635 people that have died this year who were unarmed at the hands of police brutality. Yeah, 635 people need to have a video played for them. So out of 635 people, you want me to play the same video of one cop defending his, in defense of him and what he does or did before he died? Wow. Okay. I know 170 police officers have died this past year, compared to the 365 or 635 of the U.S. citizens and illegal aliens that died. Ronnie, come on. You and Miss Atsuni are going to be removed from the show if you continue your banter. Both of you. Keep it political, guys. We're not talking about, bananas here. Oh, so you don't have to worry about human DNA. This could be the debunking night. You don't really have to worry about how they're engineering chemicals in the atmosphere, because now they're sending Trident missiles in the atmosphere. Even worse. So nothing to really worry about, I mean, hey, at least their chemicals are not radiated nuclear bombs. Hey, at least you're only breathing 55,000 chemicals. Could be a lot worse, You could be breathing 100,000 chemicals. Well, Preparation H, I'm sure Trump can come up with his own vice presidential candidate. Maybe he'll find a guy who likes to take a hammer to his mom, like Ben Carson. Or possibly a person who likes to lie about their college experience, scholarship to get into the military academy, like Ben Carson. You notice how people aren't talking about Trump and Carson this week? Yeah, Trump pretty much laid into Carson pretty heavy, dude. Lars, please, you're going to have to go away. You're blowing my cover here. I thought I had an audience. I know. Wow, Lars just said the obvious. You realize you're only communicating to like one person in the chat room. I know. No, I've got hundreds of viewers on multiple networks, Lars. You're on the Vaughn network. I see that. I know. Arcady, don't you even want to put me on the ballot? I mean, how many times have I talked to you on a nightly basis and you didn't even want to get me into the presidency? I mean, what's the point of having a conversation with you in the show? All you keep talking about is Carson or Kanye. I mean, what's your problem, man? I go out of my way to have cool looking hair on Monday and do a great show talking about the issues every single night, except for Sunday because it's a day of rest. Woman found dead and burned, Bridgewater identified. Really? Life tanker, what do you got? Something happening in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Aston. Thanks for the link. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying my hardest to help you out here, being a transparent guy and talking about how I want to help the country out, but all right. Now you're in defense of Ben Carson. Arab sends some link giving him a free ride. Oh my God. Hey, you got to go away, Stricken. I'm going to purge you if you say anything bad about me next turnaround. Thank you, Potato Girl. If you say anything bad about me, man, I'm gonna force you to, trim your fingernails. Which, coming from your mom or dad, that would be kind of like, I like my fingernails to look like an animal. Yeah. You're a manlet, man. Not a man. You're a manlet. You're like a girly man. Yeah. That's a real man. You're a girly man. Manlet man. Yeah. Yeah, but I look at Ben Carson's dirty secrets. What a scumbag. I know. Preparation H. Everybody's talking about Ben Carson and all the different weird things he's done. This guy's really weird. I mean, it's like, hello? He takes a hammer to his mother and then writes a book about it and then make a movie about it and authorizes the movie. I mean, what is he expecting us to think? No, we don't forgive people that take hammers to their mother and want to be presidents. My God, that's disgusting. Yeah. You didn't know that about Ben? Well, you should find out. Yeah, totally. But look at mine. Billy, I put this on because somebody said my real hair looked gay. And I said, no, this hair looks gay. That's how this whole discussion started. Yeah. And it's very, very hurtful for a heterosexual to be called gay by a bunch of you, I guess you'd call them discriminators. You people who discriminate against people. Yeah. You're the one who brought it up, Drag King. Hello, who the hell are you to say hello? I'm offended too. No way, Jose. No way, Jose is a woman who's very attracted to me. And is like, no way can he be gay. He's too heterosexual. All right. We will be talking less now, Ms. Hatsune. Hey, I'm not necessarily the guy you need to listen to. You need to listen to your next future president, the robotic presidential candidate. I can't do that. I don't want this. I don't want an AI presidential candidate. I really don't. But there's all these cool GIFs I have of robotic presidential people. And I would be remiss in telling you that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. We have something else to fear besides fear itself. Remember when FDR said the famous speech, "The only thing you have to fear is fear itself"? Well, no, actually you need to fear something real, something tangible. It's called AI. And we are on the verge of an AI revolution in our country that perhaps is pale in comparison to anything you could imagine with aliens invading. Believe it or not. If our country can replace its leadership with biochips and brain chips installed in their head, if they can, they will. Because the people that are really in charge of our country, the ones with all the money that make the commercials and force you to buy things that you don't really want to buy because you're just basically watching TV all the time going, okay, I'll buy that, yeah. The people that put Donald Trump in charge because he's such a puppet. The people that create the illusion that this massively obese person who doesn't have a sculpted body like I do is running for president with the intent to make even more money, which is more and more disturbing because he's basically bailed himself out of 4 bankruptcies by turning to the Fed and doing whatever they tell him to do. When lies become truth, that's when we have to be fearful. And with AI, you've got the possibility that our president himself, Barack Obama, might even be chipped. We don't know. The thought of that scar in his head keeps popping up in our show, especially Conspiracy Monday. I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up. But as you can see, the president has a very big scar on his head. And a neurosurgeon has gone public and said that this is an evidential. This is a piece of evidence that shows that Barack Obama has had brain surgery. Now, did you hear anything about brain surgery in the news? No, he didn't. I have other pictures of his head. Perhaps this would be good too. You never heard about how he was held in a small facility in Europe and they performed a biochip implant on his head? That wasn't in the memo, was it? They didn't clone him, they just controlled him with a chip. You can't see that? It's not Trump Hair Monday. This hair is superior to Trump's hair. No hassle. No. This is superior to Trump's hair. And Arab, this is definitely superior to Trump's hair. You're telling me that Trump can't even get near this hair. But the possibility that this president of ours is a robot is ever so real. Well, let's be clear. The idea of a chip in his head makes total sense, too, because he speaks like a robot. He doesn't have any original thoughts. He's never had any original ideas. He looks like a robot. He acts like a robot. He quacks like a robot. I'm going to say he's a duck, but he could be a robot. He's a lame duck president who's a robot. How's that? That's the best way I could describe it. That's about the size of his brain pan there. Let's do it. Yeah, so there's something in his head. Well, he quacks like a duck, a lame duck. He smells like a duck, too. I haven't smelled him, though. Has anybody smelled Barack Obama? Sir, have you been taking showers? I wonder if anyone would walk up to our president and say, have you showered lately? Yeah. Have you ever smelled him? Look it up. Well, you look it up and send me a link showing me that somebody smelled him. Here's proof Obama had surgery, everybody. Brain surgery. This link that was just presented by our wonderful chatter, Preparation H, shows you the connection between Barack Obama's brain surgery. For the last 3 years, as many curious citizens have wondered about the long scar which goes up the side of Barack Obama's head over his crown. Until now, Dr. Thomas Jablonski, a top neurologist at Houston's Methodist Hospital, carefully examined high-resolution photographs and high-powered long-distance brain scans. His conclusion? President Barack Obama has had brain surgery. I'm not sure exactly what the procedure was, but the scar clearly indicates a common incision made into the brain, said Dr. Jablonski. There you have it, folks. So there's nothing to this, really, other than the fact that your president's been shipped. And you're an idiot if you think that Hillary isn't. So we have a problem here, guys. You know, I wish this Conspiracy Monday was simple. And I could just talk about false flags all night long and, oh golly, they lied to us again to push gun control. But it's getting more grave and more severe when we talk about the president being chipped. You realize that I'm way out on a limb talking about this every night? You realize that, right? Well, you read the article. Whatever. Hi there, guys. Yeah, I'm on a limb every time I do a Conspiracy Monday show. Every time I do the show, people think that I'm some sort of whack job, Mr. Anderson. How can I be a whack job when I'm the one talking about the truth, Mr. Anderson? I'm the one with the world spinning behind my head every night. So yeah, I mean, you want to vote for a guy who's so rich and corrupt that he would sell out to the Federal Reserve and do whatever they tell him to do? Great. That's special. That's nice. I personally don't want to do that. The name is Neo. Thank you, Truth Seeker. Who is Mr. Anderson? Yeah, that's a tale of many stories. We could talk about all the different things that we've been lied to about. Benghazi, Abbottabad. Or I could just show you, a really flattering picture of Hillary Clinton that shows her real self. Yeah. That's the person a lot of people want for president. And what's really weird is she's got $2.3 billion to run. That's more than double what Obama had in his war chest, his campaign war chest. Yeah. There's a woman with confidence and strength that you can really trust the government in the hands of, who can lie in front of a Senate subcommittee hearing incessantly by repeating the same words when asked, why did your office search for mind control websites? Why did your office search for how to get rid of your email online websites? And why did you run around promoting that this was a riot that caused it when secretly telling all your friends that it was a terrorist act? She couldn't answer either one of those three questions. And the number of questions that were put to her were really just fogged with the same response. In other words, a person can plead the fifth, and the Democrats think they're innocent. Yeah, ask me anything about my personal life. I'm sorry, I plead the fifth. Oh, you must be innocent. Jerry Sandusky could have pled the fifth. I think he did. They found him guilty. Why are they finding Hillary Clinton innocent? I don't get that. Why are the Democrats framing this like she did nothing wrong, even though she hid her emails for 5 months and destroyed them? Other emails are popping up showing that not only did Hillary have searches going on that would have tracked the Chris Stevens whereabouts. Chris Stevens was probably being watched by Clinton in her emails and her searches. But every time Chris Stevens asked for support, the emails have shown and confirmed that she turned him down for added security. And every time she was asked about this, she said, deferred to the NSA. The NSA was supposed to respond to this. I wasn't. When as a Secretary of State, she gets a call from an ambassador, a standing ambassador, to get more security, and she blows him off. And she's going to walk with this whole thing and never have to face the scrutiny of the American people. I think this is insane. I demand a grand jury investigation into Hillary and into Benghazi. What we've had so far are a bunch of Republicans grandstanding when we really needed a credible prosecuting attorney to work her over the coals. Not Trey Gowdy. If you want to go see Trey, go see Trey. If you want to get vilified in the news, go see Trey. If you want to let Hillary go, if you want to not ask her questions that will prosecute her like she should be, go ask Trey. I mean, seriously. It's Trey Worthington and his dog Spot. Trey Gowdy. Well, whatever. I mean, I don't need to belabor the issue. I think the fact that Bernie Sanders flat out said that he didn't want to make Benghazi an issue to his opponent, and it's the one thing that he could work on to beat her, shows me the Democratic Party is inert, dead. Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal. I'm going to build the wall, yeah, and I know how to fund it. Donald Trump doesn't. Donald Trump doesn't know how to fund anything except his massive debt. Yeah. Claiming he's worth 10 billion, you mean he owes 10 billion. I mean, come on. Yeah. When Donald Trump took my 1,000-mile fence idea and borrowed it, he didn't really find out how we're going to fund it. We're going to use prisoners that are currently in our prison system that are illegal aliens to fund and build that bridge with low-cost prison labor. And the illegals will be able to work their way out of prison, and we will deport them right after they finish 3 months of duty at the border fence. His ego is dangerous. Yeah, Barack Obama and Donald Trump both have massive egos. And you've seen where it's gotten us with Obama. Putin is ready to launch. They're worried about Russian vessels compromising national communication lines right now. There's a saber rattling going on with missiles like the Trident II just a couple days ago. And China and Obama are not a real positive mix either. It's not a go. It's more like, are you aware you are such an idiot? Yeah, it's more like that. Yeah. At least I don't have a comb over. I know. Totally, dude. Yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned about the array of people running on the Republican side, too. I mean, Carla Fiorini She doesn't want to actually talk to Vladimir Putin. In the debate, she outright said that she will not talk to Vladimir Putin. I'm sorry, I will not talk to that man. I mean, what are we, raising these imbeciles in the Republican Party? Is that like a breeding ground for stupidity or something? All Donald does is stir the pot, yeah. And that's why this blowhard is making such an impression on the Republican Party. Yep. That's the problem. You know, I don't know, Potato Girl. There was a talk about that large, thing in his forehead. We don't know what happened to him. You know, bad things happen to bad people, too. Always remember that. All right, so this has been special. Woman found dead and burned in Bridgewater, identified. She's been identified. The burnt body of a woman found Tuesday night in Bridgewater, Connecticut has been identified as so-and-so. And this story is important because she died. They believe that her death was a targeted act and said there is believed to be no threat to the public. Okay, it's an ongoing investigation. That's really not a story. But yeah, if they want to chip the president, they can. And that's the problem, folks. We have lost control of our country, or what the hell our president's thinking, or even what's in his brain. And the Hillary Brobot that we know today, who's running for office, she seems to be almost like an automaton. No one can stop her because she simply repeats the same statements over and over again. Some candid poses from Hillary. Let's take a look. Here's one of her National Socialistic events that she goes to. That could be the robot. We're not sure, but being a strong supporter of National Socialism, she must really, truly engage in endorsing corporations and in giving corporations extra bonuses through her inside deals that she cut with the Clinton Initiative. She and Bill. Not to mention all of the people that ended up being, not really, we don't know what happened to them. All those people that said that Bill Clinton groped them, they're all gone. Have you ever looked up the Clinton death count? It's a pretty weird, pretty weird situation. Over 47, now 48 people are dead. And top of the list, most recently, is the former chef of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. What did he know? The Clinton body count on what really happened. I'm going to give you the link. If you don't know, if you haven't seen this, it's a lot of good reading, I'll tell you. It'll blow your mind. But Walter Scheib, the former chef for the president and for Hillary, he was hired by the Clinton White House. He died in June. He was found at the bottom of a river 1.5 miles from his location where he was hiking. He continued to serve the Bush administration. He was reported missing by his family when he failed to return from the hike. If anybody was around during that transition of 2001, when the Trade Center was attacked, it would be Walter Scheib. He would have been listening in to what was going on at the White House during the 9/11 attack. His body was found more than 1.5 miles off the trail, the bottom of a river, and no official cause of death has been released. I mean, you go to that site, you will run into all kinds of people that are dead. Mysterious deaths. James McDougal, who was working with the Clintons during their formative years. Prior to a testimony before Ken Starr's grand jury, and while the reporters who were covering the story were 2 hours away covering a standoff situation in Waco that just went away, Jim McDougal suffered a heart attack while in solitary confinement, ready to testify. Conveniently ready to testify, was taken out and killed. Sandy Hume, a journalist, 28-year-old son of journalist Britt Hume. That's a sad story. Britt Hume, the guy you know on news and really famous newscaster, journalist. His daughter died. 28-year-old, his son died. The 28-year-old son of journalist Britt Hume was reportedly found dead in his Arlington, Virginia home. Aside from a statement that this was an apparent suicide, There remains a place in total media blackout of the story, possibly out of concern that the actual facts will not withstand public scrutiny. In fact, the Arlington police were not even responding to inquiries. Hume was a reporter for the Hill magazine newspaper about Congress for Congress, and had broken a major story in 1997 regarding the friction between the House Speaker Newt Gingrich and a faction led by Representative Paxson, who announced his resignation just 24 hours after Hume's death. Wow. He was 3 weeks into a job at Fox, pinnacle of his young career. Well, anyway. Vince Foster, the whole list goes on and on. All right, so a lot of you have chosen to go with the National Socialist Hillary. Okay, you just got finished with the Socialist Democrat Barack Obama, and now you're moving into the National Socialist Hillary. Okay. Is she? I don't know. She's just saying hi. It looks to me like she is. But then again, if you're concerned about her aggression, maybe you'll be more concerned about her lack of intelligence. Yeah. When asked questions, she seems to draw a blank. You're going to prison? Hi, what's going on? Why are you going to prison, Hevia? Hevia's going to prison? I am not white privilege, Ken. What difference at this point does it make? What difference? What difference at this point does it make? It makes a big difference, Hillary. We are concerned about your credibility. Sorry, Dave. You're going to prison? I'm sorry. Oh, you're not? Oh, Hillary's going to prison. Oh, okay. Well, why isn't any of that playing out? You're calling me white privilege? How dare you? You can't even tell that I'm not clearly white. Yeah, I'm pink, if anything, but not a pinko. I mean, my skin is not white. Anybody calling me white is a racist. Pick him out. That's okay. You can hang. I'm beige, yeah. Oh, here's a good one. The woman that we know has done a lot of work with her diet plan, proud to announce her running mate someday in the future. Very interesting. There's something going on there with that tent that they created. That's an Armani, I believe. No, I think it's I'm not sure what that brand is. It could be yeah. It looks kind of like a muumuu, but it's a business style muumuu. That's a pretty good picture. Thank you for bringing that into the show. All right, so if you're a little bit tired of this picture, I'll get rid of it. Trumpery. How about Billary? The possibility of a Billary running. How many of you would vote for a robot if you knew flat out that it was a robot? How many of you would, if you had a robot running for president, how many would actually vote for the robot? I read what you said, David. Over the week, I was watching our History Channel about Hitler got started. Really, Sunstar? Hevia says he might vote for a robot. Interesting. But Ms. Hatsuni, of course, would. It would not matter who made said robot. It would only matter that you were voting for the robot. So we have a couple people that would vote for a robot. Would you believe that the robot had more intelligence than the average human being and would be more able to manage properly affairs? Wouldn't you be concerned that the robot had its own will and wish? it can have its own will. You know, Elon Musk is spending $18 million just to stop AI from being dangerous. There's a famous author named Philip K. Dick, who discusses the future.
There are really advanced robots that look and act just like people. So we thought it would be really cool, like art, to make a robot. So that's what this is. It's like an interactive sculpture. And it's robotics. We made the face, the material, and all the mechanics and stuff that you see, and we did the hardware, did the software. But right now what he's doing is he's looking around the room, he's looking for faces. When he sees a face, he tries to turn his head so he looks in the eye. There's actually a camera in his eye, and you can see what he sees out here on the monitor. He'll draw a little yellow box around your face when he sees your face, and then he'll try to move his head so he's looking in there. And that's not all he does. You can also talk to him, and he talks back. Let me demonstrate that really quickly with some fun. This is the being that you're talking to. We've kind of been experimenting with different ways of holding it, because people seem to like to hold it like this. So I'm going to try that. Well, I never have done this before, so it works. What is your name?
My name is Phil.
Okay. We can try holding it like this. Where were you born?
I like games like poker and blackjack where you get some money.
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is The Bicentennial Man. Have you seen The Bicentennial Man?
Okay, this is technology that is 10 years old. And that probably wasn't the cutting edge technology that was available at the time. So there's any number of potential problems with the fact that Hillary recently announced that she is not even a real human being. The possibilities are enormous that she may actually be a robot. I'm not kidding. So you've always got your president to realize that, maybe he is a robot. Maybe he's been, reorganized, or maybe his chip has been put in his head. Whatever. It can look like whatever. But that was 10 years ago, okay? You can only imagine what's coming. Oh, and it's coming. You cannot control it. Resistance is futile. We can make it bigger and stronger and more capable. Okay, Dave, change the subject. Let's move on. What do you want to talk about? Well, I mean, is there anything worse than depopulation and robot presidents doing the bidding of the corporate structure? I mean, you tell me what's worse. Oh, radiation leaching into the ocean and no one in our government saying anything for the past 4 years? Ken, I'm not white privileged. Yeah, I came from a middle class, struggling family in the 1960s. They had credit bills that were so strong that they had lots of financial problems. And the only reason why I'm able to float economically in this tough economy is because I'm able to save money, whereas most people can't. And throughout my life, I've been saving money so that I could retire young. Please get that through your thick head. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, I am a cheapskate. You made me say it. Okay, I said it. I'm the guy to clean up the excess spending in the government, Ken. I'm the guy to save the nation from an imminent fiscal crisis. All right? Thank you. You have something going on here. Oh my gosh, a tornado. That's pretty intense. If that's true and that really is a tornado, I'm scared. That's a scary, scary picture that you sent. Okay. So what about the idea? Let's talk about false flags, because a lot of you have been listening to the story of the Umpqua community shooting, where they seized all the cell phones that had any video coverage, and the government never released more than 4 still pictures of the event. No photos of bodies other than a cleanup operation of just police cars. Or maybe you believe the recent crash of the Flight 321, that was posted on WikiLeaks within 30 seconds of the crash itself, which is very, very suspicious. I'm not sure, Hopper, you're going to be allowed in the show if you continue talking about my book, which I'm writing. Thank you. Yeah, all of those things that I talk to people about privately sometimes pop up in our chat room. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening in my history that I discovered late in life. Yeah. We're going to ask you to not talk, Hopper. Try to learn how to not speak out of turn. That would be nice. Thank you. But the things that I basically am in my autobiography, I talk about all the weird scenarios that occurred during my life and my family's life, dating back over 100 years. And it made me think that maybe I'm living kind of a unique life. But then again, I think everybody's got a history of family members in the war, a lot of different events happening around my family during that time period, and their role. David, answer the question. Show us the hard proof of these false flags. That's the thing, Ken. There is no hard proof of false flags. There's only proof of no evidence. The telltale sign of a false flag is the missing evidence. Well, actually, there's a lot of truth to that. Old Wrinkle just said perhaps David's family was well off and they just didn't give him any. Boy, you said a mouthful there, yeah. I have a whole history that's in my autobiography about what happened in my family on both sides. Almost an unbelievable scenario. I don't talk to my family members from various sides of my family anymore, and for a good reason. I wasn't happy with what happened as a result of a lot of finagling by others. It was really strange. Yeah. After chemo failed him, this daddy illegally cured himself of the terminal cancer using cannabis oil. Whoa. Amazing. You must be hanging out on the site a lot. Countercurrent. But all that stuff is in my book. It'll be available for release probably in 2016. I have yet to finish it, actually. The Patriots will go deflated. If those balls continue to deflate, the Patriots will probably be charged with a crime this year. Having deflated balls makes them pass the ball more accurately. They need to be held accountable for that, Ken. Okay, here we go. After chemo failed him, this man illegally cured himself of terminal cancer using cannabis oil. Whoa, Staffordshire, England. In July of 2012, David Hibbett was diagnosed with bowel cancer and told by doctors that he had 18 months to live. Today, his cancer is free and credits cannabis oil with curing his cancer. After being diagnosed with cancer, the 33-year-old father of one underwent chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and surgery to remove his large bowel. After all standard treatment options had proven ineffective, Hibbett turned to cannabis oil as a last resort, and to date has been cancer-free since January. Whoa, that is amazing. So yes, the miracle is that I can't share with you the answer to anything. I can just show you what other people tell you. It was colon cancer, Old Wrinkle. The kind of cancer that killed Farrah Fawcett. Well, it's possible. Yeah, the balls have been deflated in the Patriot lineup. That sounded weird. The Patriots have had deflated balls. You know that. Oh, there's a good video on the page as well. I didn't realize. Let's take a look. It's an eyewitness testimonial. This year, Ken, this could be the year of deflated balls. Medicalmarijuana.ca.
My name is David Hibbett. I was first diagnosed with bowel cancer in July 2012, and I was told I was terminal in February 2014. In January 2015, I was given the all clear.
Wow.
After successful treatment with cannabis oil, made the alcohol, and then treatment with cannabis oil afterwards. So far, touch wood, has kept it at bay. I was first diagnosed with cancer in July 2012. I was asked to get the all clear in January 2015. first tip about cannabis soil from the...
Great. We'll play that in our after show, everybody. Thank you for that link, Scissor Fight. Wow, that's a good video for... yeah, that's awesome. Well, you know, our show, it doesn't have to talk about conspiracies, but it is true that there is a serious conspiracy in the cancer industry. In fact, in the 1970s, they wrote a book called The Cancer Industry. And the conspiracy is that all the doctors that have invested heavily in chemotherapy and radiation treatment plans, they know full well there's cures for cancer, but they're purposely keeping it from getting to the patients because they want to profit from all of the money that they put into hormone therapy, vaccine therapy, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. Well, okay, fine. Old Wrinkle says that cannabis oil made him operable. Doesn't mean it cured his cancer. Well, actually, he's in remission. And I think you need to take note of that, Old Wrinkle. Thank you so much. David, they don't they have family members with cancer? They too have, don't. What are you saying, Beekman? You're grasping at straws now. Your house of cards is falling apart on Conspiracy Monday. You're starting to doubt yourself. Beekman's been a holdout on everything from chemo to chemtrails to 9/11, and he's starting to realize they're manipulating the media as well. No, man, you need to look at what's happening. You are such a tough nut, Beekman. You're like representative of the hardcore, constipated, chicken hawk conservatives that just don't face reality. That you know, clearly this world is full of contradictions. And you need to look at those, sir. You need to really seriously analyze those. Otherwise, you'll go down in history as doing nothing. And your family will always look back going, oh yes, that's Beekman. He never said anything other than endorse the status quo. That's Beekman, yeah. 29 pilot whales dead after stranding on a beach in New Zealand, everybody. This worldwide devastation of animals, marine life, the fauna, intertidal zones, it's going on and on. I bring you yet another picture of devastation. I mean, this is just tragic. This is why we need a third party. And please, you know, you're not impressing Miko. I want to bring this picture in. Thank you, Sarah. You can bring that up. Yeah. This is from sbs.com.au. Look at the picture of dead whales. A pod of 29 pilot whales have died after becoming stranded on a remote New Zealand beach. They're looking for food because the food is dying off from the radiation in the water. So they're going to far reaches that they shouldn't do, risky areas to find food, and they get stranded when the waves come tumbling back. It's very sad. I limited the sadness by having the picture only on the screen for 1 second.
Yeah, it's still on my screen.
I'm sorry. I'll try to close off all sadness from your visual. Oh, good news. Human DNA not really found in the hot dogs. It turns out it's just chips of hair from the processing plant. It's just human hair from somebody like drops a hair in.
Like I drop hair in.
Yeah, people drop hair in things.
My hair drops everywhere.
I'm sure everybody's eating a little hair. Hair, beautiful
human
hair, so long and strangly. All right, yeah, hair. It was just hair. Nothing to worry about. You can continue eating your hot dogs.
Little pieces of skin, like skin. You know, you slough off your skin all the time.
Yeah, little
it's more
skin
like
cells.
Skin cells.
You
Little
can
pieces of
continue
skin cells.
eating hot dogs if you so choose.
Yes.
You don't like hair piece? Sheriff John Brown doesn't like the hair. This is the Monday hair look. I told you that.
Hair pie. He said he didn't talk about the hair piece.
I thought he was talking about hair pie. I thought I saw a hair
didn't
piece
like
there.
hair in his pie.
Dave's conspiracy of the week has been blown out of the water. Not really. No, I'm glad. No, the conspiracy is, you don't understand. God, they're pushing this idea that there's human DNA in the meat so that we don't eat meat, okay? They're pushing GMOs on the population. People who are inclined to not eat meat are going to go ahead and eat soy products, right? They want people to eat GMO soy products. That's the real conspiracy here. It's not that they have human DNA in the meat. They're telling people this, old wrinkle. It's a psyops. Thank you. I don't have to show a solid proof. You can make your own assessments here. This is an open forum. No, Ms. Hatsune, bad GMO. Nice hamburger on your head. Wow. Somebody criticized my new hair pieces. Hamburger on my head. Okay, well, I can make that happen. Hold on. You thought it was impossible. It's not only possible, it's alive. Introducing the human hamburger hair. The endless battle for food has been solved with Dave, the human hamburger hair, who will deliver hamburgers to all people who get near his hair. Have no fear, folks. Food is here. I produce more hamburgers than any human brain in the entire world.
Oh, goodness.
No, I took the, somebody said my hair looked gay, and I said, no, my hair doesn't look gay. This hair looks gay. And I put this wig on. And I kept it on.
I like your wig.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about your wig.
Well, somebody said, will it grow back, Dave?
They're talking about the hamburgers. They're not talking about your hair.
Okay. You're still talking about...
You're still obsessed about your hair, your wig, and
Hair
they're not
paranoia.
worried about your hair or your wig. They haven't said anything because it looks so darn good. You should wear it all the time.
I'll wear it all the time.
Yes, of course.
Of course. This is my hair, guys. Hey, it saves me washing my hair. I could just, have like small rodents living in my hair, and then I could just put the wig on like many of our judges did back in the 1800s, 1700s days. They used to have like small rodents living in their hair.
I have no idea what people never had small rodents living in their hair.
Oh, in England they did. They used to not
they
wash
had
their hair.
Small insects living in their hair. It's called lice.
Well, no, there were instances where people had small mice jumping.
There's a difference between an insect and a rodent. Huge difference.
I'm talking about a mouse. Mice
I don't think
were
so.
in there. Yeah. Well, okay. There is one instance of a mouse.
Go ahead, find an instance for a mouse in the hair, and I'll show you. It's like just this little joke thing.
Okay.
At the most.
The Dirty Lives of Georgian Women. Deadly Makeup, Mouse Hair Brows, The Dirty Lives, an exclusive feature. The hairdos, the mouse hair brows, the lice-ridden wigs. We are now going on a journey through the darkness of hair, wonderful hair, long, slimy hair. It's a harbinger of insects and pestilence. You're looking at the British monarchy. The fabulous frocks, fans, feathers, and finery soothe us with images of gentler, well-mannered time, but in reality, not quite so lovely. Life for Georgian women, even of high birth, was harsh enough at a time when men still held all the power and husbands could beat and even rape their wives. Noblemen caught diseases passed on from their husbands' prostitutes, etc., etc. And here we talk about the hair, the rat's nests, the poor hygiene, and the false teeth. Oh yeah, there's a history of deadly makeup and big hair. And yes, rodents, bodily fluids, prenups, marital abuse. Well, what am I looking at? Whatever. I'm not really into the cow cells. Beekman, some of us actually grew up out of the 70s. Many of we're not all watching repeats of the Partridge Family and the Happy Days. Happy days are here. Hillary's Twitter page has an unusually high number of fake followers, everybody. We knew this was happening. I give you Hillary's fake tweets. Only 59% of her followers belong to a real person. And the highest ranking fake followers are among Republicans candidates Governor Chris Christie, who has 64% real followers. Wow. People really do follow him. Where? To the donut shop? For more free donuts? The Yang, a fish pond of 60,000 kilograms of fish died, allegedly poisoned. Crag King. You got nothing but negative stuff to show us.
I know, he's always
he's
talking
dead
about
this
the
and
dead
dead
dish,
that. Yeah.
dead animals. He's worried.
We are too, but there's nothing anyone's doing to help promote me to get on the ballot. I mean, all he does is talk about dead. He comes in here, claims I'm high, and then talks about dead animals all the time.
Yeah, what's with the dead animals?
And what's with the fixation with dead
Talk
animals?
about living beautiful things like me,
Yeah.
like David and I.
Yeah, we're here to help, man. I mean, don't you want to support me and get me on the ballot? And
No thanks.
In your
Thank
state?
you, Drag King, but no thanks.
most Twitter users have the same number of fake followers. This is not news. Not us. We have the real number of followers. Every follower we have is bona fide and real.
How do you find out if you have fake followers?
You go to fakefollower.com and analyze your site for fake followers. Okay, Hillary has it kind of mixed up here. She says that women have always been the primary victims of war. Women lose their husbands, their fathers, their sons in combat. Doesn't that make men the primary victim? I agree with
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan, yeah. I think Hillary's got everything upside down, confused. I don't have any fake followers. Everybody who follows us on Twitter is legit. Oh, good night, Sunstar. Thank you for coming in.
Good night.
Sleep well.
Wiedersehen.
Sleep tight. Yeah, just because I have better hair than you do, Richard, doesn't mean you have to get jealous. All right. It's not my fault I was born with such golden locks. Yeah. I don't think that's appropriate for our show.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks, Europe.
All right, so we had the Barack Obama standing here. If you want, we can have him talk to you. We'll make no mistake about it.
Serious face.
Yeah. We'll make no mistake about it. I am a robot. That's probably what he would say. I'm not a robot. And I've openly stated I'm not a robot. I'm a real
It's
person.
hard for me to be that serious. No, Richard, you're bizarre. Go away.
Gosh. We're simply people that
Go
follow.
away.
Sarah and I went out yesterday and we went to the mini maker fair.
Yeah, the mini maker fair at Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble.
Good.
They're doing this every weekend?
No.
Just this week, last weekend was it?
Yeah.
Well, they had a fair, and it was about
It was
computers.
really kind of cool.
It is, and we found a little robot. I saw a robot called Mechanoid that is actually.
If you go to Meccano.com,
Let me show you this robot.
2 C's, no H.
You'll see a robot you can get for $180.
It's pretty cool.
Check this out.
It's a Top Tech 12 toy.
The Top Tech 12 toy.
I don't know why they say 12. Oh.
This little guy, I saw a demo of this little guy. You can build him in 7 hours from a kit, $180. And he literally, you can shake his hand and he responds. He says, he gives you responses how hard you shake his hand.
He even says jokes.
He says jokes. He's got a line of jokes that he says.
Did you hear what the one about the vacuum cleaner he says?
Yeah.
And if you say no, he says, I'm not surprised, it sucks.
I'm not surprised. It sucks. So here we have a computer,
cute joke.
a robot that's literally $180 for Christmas.
Does that remind you? Do you guys remember that that old?
Interesting.
There was an old robot. Anyway. This is
Okay.
way cool. Cooler than Meccano. Mechanoid. First Police Department voluntarily denies the 1033 military surplus program.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
Vermont Police Department becomes America's first to voluntarily withdraw from the controversial 1033 military surplus program.
Oh, so these are the military
They don't need
vehicles.
'em up in Vermont.
Vermont, there's not a lot of wacky people up there, but
I know. Nobody drives up there. All the wacky people stay down in the cities.
a Vermont Police Department becomes the America's first volunteer to withdraw from the controversial 1033 military surplus program. Now, the government's sending out all these weapons to different states and city governments, and now there's SWATs
Burlington.
going on all around the country.
Burlington, Vermont.
Burlington, Vermont. No, Leroy, I'm not planning on making any cooking videos because there's no more food left.
And I don't make a lot of sandwiches.
We stopped eating food because it was dangerous to eat.
No, not really, but anyway.
And I don't really like to make expensive food, so it would be kind of pointless to randomly make dumpster food, wouldn't it? I mean, you wouldn't enjoy seeing a sautéed old tomatoes with blemishes on a rich dehydrated stale case of pasta shells. I mean, you wouldn't want to see that, would you? Yeah, well, I'm not starving. We eat plenty. We mostly go out to eat lobster whenever we can. Well, yeah, how do you think I eat lobster? Whenever we can, by buying expired food, yeah. So I go out to a nice restaurant once in a while and have lobster so that I can feel normal, and the rest of the time I eat expired food. And you wouldn't want to see me cook with that. Well, I'm glad Vermont's stepping out of the 1033 military surplus program. The government is stocking up on massive amounts of military hardware, folks.
Instead, they're
It is a psyop.
Burlington focuses on foot patrols, strong relationships between the officers and the community, and the use of modern tools to increase public transparency and police effectiveness.
I like that. At least we've got people that really care about our country, like in Vermont. Except for Bernie Sanders. He's so socialist, he really could care less about people working for a living and having to pay their taxes so much, and seeing people like Bernie Sanders just suck up their taxes. Swatting does seem like a psyop. In fact, the 200 swats a day going on in America. Oh, God. Boy, you are about ready to get kicked out of the show.
Who are you going to kick out?
No, that this person that wants me to play a live leak because... Well, yeah, we know about the big explosion in Yemen. It's a new weapon. It's an air fuel bomb. Yemen is the testing ground for our military operations.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, you better not ask questions, because if you do, you might find out your questions are going to be answered in a very bad way.
I think when he says yawn, he's talking about me. He's not talking about you.
I thought he was bored.
He wasn't bored. He was just talking about me.
Law students wrote this unconstitutional, ungrammatical speech code. Do not comment despairingly on others. That's what they wrote. Grad law students, mind you. According to new social media policies, students enrolled in the University of Missouri School of Law must communicate in a respectful way, friendly in manner, be transparent, but not too transparent, and avoid commenting despairingly on others. Well, they got a serious curriculum problem there at Missouri. Now they've got riots.
I probably did yawn behind you, but that's
over
not
racial
because I'm
problems.
bored. It's just because
She's tired. Okay, let me get my my precious coffee juices together, and I will be back to continue the pre-Christmas show. So it's pretty much established now that the missile in the sky that was so huge.
Yeah. Whoa! Why did you just gain a whole bunch of weight?
It was a new Trident missile titled the Hillary, and
what happened to her?
She was constructed
That
to.
is a bad point of view.
It's a very nice example
when
of.
you twist her like that, you're doing her a compliment.
Okay, let's go for
What the heck happened to her?
Well, she became a ballistic missile.
Serious?
I'm telling you, we have confirmation that she's actually a ballistic missile that launched directly into the sky above Los Angeles the other night.
Is that Photoshop purposely to make her look heavier?
No, if it was Photoshopped, the lines around it would be skewed. you see the lines around it, kind of punch out, which they do. Which they do. So you see the line kind of goes down. Yeah, that's photoshopped. Yeah, that's just not a very pleasing picture for a lot of you who want to look at a good robot. And you're seeing this line go up like that. And this line goes up like that. It's clearly skewed to make her look fat. When she's only, 50 pounds overweight?
That's gotta be a fake.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'll be right back. Thank you.
I did not know that, Sneak Shot Malnik. Thanks for explaining. I guess so. I had no idea, Drag King, but I guess you're right. Good night, E-Rob. Take care. Talk to you later. David will bring some coffee for himself. I don't drink coffee. That's why I always forget to bring David coffee, because I don't drink it anymore. Well, your last statement about Hillary and her adipose, is that the right word? I don't know. David would say that's the right word. It's just too new. You like a lot of sweet tea? Yes, exactly. Kind of scary, don't you think? A little bit? I don't know. Well, maybe one day people will be talking about me that way. I hope not. Better start working out. This is a great looking robot. Alright. Sarah. Kara, Heavy Rain Quantic Dream Tech Demo. It's a prototype running in PS4. Quantic Dream. Thank you. Alright, you guys want to see Kara? So I don't have the robot I bought yesterday. Oh, yeah, not real. But that's kind of cute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
ID.
KPC 897504C.
Can you move your head? Your eyes now.
That's pretty cool. Nice graphical interface.
Cervical and optical animation checked. Now give me your...
Well, Meccano, a real robot. Where's Meccano? Meccano, when you start assembling him, assembling the mechanoid, once you get about halfway through, you put in his battery and he walks you through the way to build the rest of him. Let's see if we have a video on mechanoid. Learn to build with Meccano, basic build. More videos. They have a new autocross. So they have
Meccano.
Mechanoid G.
Here's a little commercial for Meccano.
Meccano.
Mechanoid G15. You can build your own robot.
A partner in crime. What is up, amigo?
Check this. I'm in total control. Mechanoid is so easy to program.
Nice. These robots rock.
You can control it with voice command. Dance.
This is my jam. Let's get funky.
You can rebuild tons of different designs.
Meccano. Your imagination just got real. Mechanoid G15 comes with everything you see here. Other robots sold separately. Batteries not included from Spin Master.
So that's Meccano from Spin Master. Mechanoid. That's about $180. Then the one I got, I'll show you what I got yesterday. Oh, the little blueberry and the wild... Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, Beekman. What? Oh goodness, you guys are crazy. That's bizarre tracking. Alright. You'll stick with your Lego robotics kits. The Legos are cool. Do you have the Mindstorm duct tape? Lego Mindstorm, that's very cool. You do? Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, that's pretty advanced, I would say. This is very cool. You might want to invest in one of these. Let's look at this. Products. Let me see if I can play with it. Robotics made easy. Here we go. Wonder if this is a video. Let me go to Ozobot video. There's sites out there for building custom parts and sensors for the Mindstorm kit. You can build custom sensors. I mean, they already have fantastic sensors. The Mindstorm does. Here's the Ozobot at the Computer Electronics Show in 2014.
Our new intelligent game piece, and what it does is you can identify lines, colors, codes on physical and digital surfaces. So what you're seeing here is it identifying on a digital surface. These are all the different codes that it can actually read, and based on what it reads, it's just going to start doing it. If there's no code, it's straight to random logic. This is more of a strategic game, allowing multiple players to play it at the same time. You have to introduce different direction for it. My goal is to get my Ozobot to home base, and you would have another one you'd goal to get yours to home base. I'll launch with 4 apps right off the bat, and then we're already in the works on doing a number of different apps to follow up, and we're also looking at a lot of different app developers to help out and start developing their own apps for it. Ability will be in June. It'll be available to Kickstarter in April, and then to the mass, to the consumer, right around June. It's going to cost $59.95.
Ozobot. Let me look up more Ozobot ones. Here's Ozobot by Ozobot. There we go. Not a huge fan. That's fun. Ozobots. Alright, I'll remove this. You believe he's the biggest threat to peace in modern times, Old Wrinkle, because he's standing in the way of what's happening with Iran? Yeah. So, Duct Tape, do you are you involved with the first program at all? Yeah, perhaps you're right, Old Wrinkle. All right. I'll type it in. Are you first? More Hillary pictures. Oh, that screenshot was removed. They took it off of there. They're violating something. No. So hilarious. Yeah. Anyway. Whoa. Boston.com, a woman was found dead and burned in Bridgewater. Man, that's so sad. Yeah. So here's what I actually coach this group. I'll show you. Or well, no, it's check it out first. usfirst.org is pretty cool. They have 3 different levels of competitions for maybe even 4, from like really little all the way up. But they don't, I think they stop at high school, but they really should go higher. And then the other one that you should check out is Bex IQ, which is a different, it's a different robot building thing. You've been working with a friend to standardize an Arduino interface for the Mindstorm sensors. Ooh, that would be very cool. Check this out. I'll give you another one you should check out, duct tape. Check that out. Have you checked out? I mean, Makey is amazing, but I mean, you have to be pretty good at figuring out how to work on Arduino. I'm not there yet, but maybe someday I will be. I know, isn't that crazy, old wrinkle? Many Americans can't handle science and technology, but they still believe in talking snakes and burning bushes, and yeah, I guess I should play the Makey thing for everybody again, even though it's not. I love the Makey. It's a cool idea. Who has time, but I don't have to go. You're welcome. I'm a gadget girl. That's what I am. Make anything with the Makey. Banana spacebar. You can do it on the computer. You can do it with something that conducts electricity. Play-Doh. The Play-Doh really has to be the kind that conducts electricity. Now that, you really have to make sure your graphite is really like heavy, because it has to conduct electricity. I like the cat photo booth. Anyway. That's the Makey.
Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm Eric. We're graduate students at MIT Media Lab.
We have a dream that...
So anyway, that's why I went to the Mini Maker Fair yesterday. Because I really get into like little gadgets. I like little things. You bought one of the Google development kits for Android when they came out, and that thing has been great. Huh, I'll have to check that out. Have you looked at Google Cardboard? That's pretty cool. I mean, but filming the 3D virtual environment can be a little tricky. But I think that's very cool. Oculus Rift release date, price, and features. Yeah, where as with the Google Cardboard, you can do 3D virtual environments now, which is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. You want the Steam controller? Steam powered. Let's look at that. Pre-orders. Oh, the Steam controller. Experience and level of precise control for your favorite games. It lets you play entire selections of Steam games on your TV, even the ones designed without controller support in mind. Oh, that's pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. You keep getting paper cuts. It's so funny. Oh. I haven't put together Google Cardboard yet. So basically, Hog Slammer, if you look into Google Cardboard, you'll... Now I'm back on. I'm back on. I'm on. I don't know why you don't hear me. Alright. So basically it takes two images and it like puts it up close to your eyes. And it takes images all the way around. You know how like Google Maps, like you can do the street view and it takes pictures all the way around, like it has pictures all the way around. Well, that's kind of like the idea with Oculus Rift and also Google Cardboard and these 3D environments, is that you're able, when it takes those images and then it puts two images up close to your eyes, you can go over there. Oh, okay. Have you looked into SDKs, duct tape, software developer kits? Some places open those up to people. I wish, no, I don't have time to be a developer. I'll say that. I used to think I wanted to be a developer, but no. So it has some ability to mute tabs in the new Firefox, huh? That's pretty cool. I haven't tried that feature yet. So you can just mute a certain tab. I should learn how to do that. You like hardware more than software? Yeah. That's very good. I like hanging around tech geeks. I like having, I'm kind of a I would call myself, thank you, an early adopter, but I'm not necessarily a developer. Yeah, I think you're right, Hog Slammer. You can mute the news through tab without changing tabs. I've got to figure out how that works. I don't know if I'm using, what am I using? I don't even know if I'm using Firefox. Usually I use Firefox. Let me see. Am I using the latest version? Where is the tab mute? Do you right click on it? Does that bring it up? Because this doesn't bring it up for me. No, I don't think I have the latest version of Firefox. Thank you all. Okay. In Firefox, like, you just right click on the tab and then you can click mute. That is very cool, because I'm always like closing out tabs because I don't know which one's making sound. And so then I could just do that. I could just mute it. Cool, thanks for the info. Huh, that is pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. It's not an add-on, it just comes with a new version of Firefox. That's very cool. Fantastic. I like that. See, they're coming up with new innovations all the time. Things that are really helpful. Would I have thought of that? Not necessarily. Will I use it? Absolutely. Yeah, I bet. I know, that's pretty cool, Hawk Slammer. It's a recent update. Alright, awesome, Hawkster. Thank you, Hawkster and Draking, for the mute tab notification. Firefox update, gotta get it. I know, right? Dave? So true. That's the only thing I use Internet Explorer for, is to download Firefox. And I have been getting into into Chrome lately, so I don't know if Chrome has that mute feature, but I definitely have been using Chrome a lot more than I used to. I'm used to Firefox, so I use it more than, I guess I'm more comfortable with it than Chrome, but I'm getting used to Chrome. I like I like almost everything Google makes, so I might as well use their browser too. Then they'll say, all your base now belong to us, or whatever that old troll thing is. Yes, exactly. Chrome has some nice options, but you're used to Firefox. That's how I am. You use the Mac version of Firefox? Yeah. I agree with you, Hawk Slammer. And then when the men do that, there will be less population on Earth, because there will be less children born. Because they won't be copulating with women or something like that. You get the point. Exactly. It's just another way that it's all the elitist plan to control the population. Conspiracy. Conspiracy of the robot women. Scary. All right. I'm glad David got to see the mechanoid. I think he liked that. I liked it. That was pretty cool. And now they have a brand new autocross RC you can build with Mechano. Favorite? Really? I don't watch that much. You think so, duct tape? Or do you think it's like David said, like the whole idea of controlling the population is just a ruse by the global elitists? But it's funny, David and I say that, but both of us decide that we're not having children, so less children on the planet from us. So wait, let me get this straight, Hog Slammer. So then only beautiful people will be born? Because all the ugly people will just have the robots? So is that what's going to happen? I think the planet can support more than we give it credit for. If beauty is subjective, then ugly is also subjective. Yeah, where have all the good men gone? Will go to where did all the men go? Yep, it's so true. It's gone.
Somebody told me to put Reese's in the freezer and they taste great.
Is that for me?
Well, yeah.
Or is this for you?
For you.
It's for you.
No, I haven't. They taste great. Reese's peanut butter in the freezer. I treat myself once every 6 months.
Once every 6 hours.
Once every 6 minutes. I treat myself once every 6 seconds. Hey, you've been waiting for me?
David.
They last longer. I know. Yeah, that's right. $944 billion. Social Security Administration spending hit a record in fiscal year 2015, everybody.
We can always build up, duct tape.
This is costing every American with a job $6,345 to finance the Social Security Administration with their payroll tax. Wow. Unreal. I'm so glad I'm not collecting anything. You know, I want to kind of detach from the government, unless, of course, I'm leading the nation. I really don't want the government in my personal life. I really don't. I really... Hey, thank you. You're on the right track. I'm going to be altering the Donald Trump wig, taking off about 50% of the hair that was covering it, and I'm going to try to make it into an actual cool-looking wig. Building up is fine. It's food production. Well, food production is great as long as we have water. Hey, bye, Ms. Hatsuni. I can't say we're going to miss you. Yeah, the water is essential for growth of food, and we just need to rapidly develop water solutions in the world, in America. We just need more and more fresh water. We don't need to get rid of the population like the elitists want to do. I know. He wishes he had that hair, I know. So we have some sort of psychotic here.
I don't know who he's talking about. I think he's talking about the other person that was talking about.
Oh, okay. I'll unban him then.
Unban him. He was talking about I was talking about these women.
Okay. Thank you.
They were talking about, like, pretty soon they're going to be android women, and then all the ugly men that can't get girlfriends will go with these android lover women.
Women will be replaced, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so sad what's happening. The world is becoming a
And women will
joke.
go from saying, where have all the good men gone, to where have all the men gone? And then I told them that it's a conspiracy to control, I told them it's a conspiracy to control the population.
Yeah, it is. And it started in our education when we're told that population growth is out of control. When I first went to college back in 78, and I went to college in 1976, actually. When I went to college back in 1976, the first thing they taught you in the social sciences was that there is a limit to growth, that the population has reached its maximum capacity and we could not possibly support life forms past this number of people. And then their BS climate statistics verify and validate that, when in fact they're creating the climate change, they're creating climate modification, and
Get rid of Mackinac.
and they're teaching us to be neutered, either transgender or not wanting kids, like Sarah and I don't want kids, and it's just crazy. Yeah. Thank
I'm
you.
going to leave for the rest of the show.
Thank you, Sarah, for coming.
But David is here.
I'll
so
be
there
here.
you go.
Thanks for spending time with everybody here. Awesome, I got it. Lots of wires, lots of things to stand on. Thank you so much for your attendance in the show, Sarah. That was awesome. She really helps out. You know that she's works a whole shift during the day, and as you know, I've got the free time to talk to you guys because I retired a few years ago. Yeah, and I'm a lucky guy. Yeah, plus I made my own luck. Sarah was not easy to find. She took me a long, long time to find her. You love my Boris Johnson? Okay. I don't use the I word a lot. I would prefer not to use the I word. I prefer to say you use your word. And you use your words really well, Beekman. Use your words when you speak in chat, okay? Use your words. We have our different views, yeah, and I never let her differences with me separate my feelings for her. I thought that was a necessary thing because we all have various perceptions of the world and we're all coming to the same conclusion at different speeds. You may have awakened to the garden of knowledge and awareness from one particular avenue of your life. You may be musically inclined and realize, whoa, why should we be so angry at each other, and begin to understand love as transcended in music. Or you may have just been a conspiracy buff and looked into every single possible nook and cranny on the internet and decided, wow, they are really controlling the world. These two parties are just mouthpieces for the corporations. It was like, I spent 11 hours a day for 2 years, 7,000 hours just to meet her online. I had to go through so many different encounters online to get to a person I could really relate to, and I knew that would be the kind of person I needed in my life. It's not easy. I know a lot of you are looking for your future lover, whoever that may be. It takes time to find the right person, and then you don't really know that person. Initially, we all are kind of scripted by nature. Most people are scripted by nature. So when they finally get to know each other after 6 months to 5 years or whatever, and you have an argument, that's actually a good thing. Okay, why are we watching Cyber Tribe Live? Because I have it open in 16 screens now. All right, let's take a look. See what we got. Yeah, but meeting somebody.
My camera. I was taking a time lapse at the sunset and see that thing right there. It just boom, lit up the entire sky out here above it. Way out in the desert, taking time lapses, and it just, I thought it was a bomb that detonated in the air.
No way.
I think it was a bomb that detonated in the air. Don't you think? That was a bomb, wasn't it? So they basically launched a bomb from right outside of Catalina Island. And it blew up. And nobody in the news is talking about it. Oh yeah, no big deal. I'm personally not a person who believes in the existence of aliens. I believe the technocracy has taken over our world and it's run by the corporatocracy, and we need to change that. You spent $10 on a city travel card to meet a woman? Oh yeah. Don't ever go out of your geographic loop when you meet women. Now, I was willing to drive all the way to California to meet Sarah. And this is 17 years ago we met online. But I drove literally 750 miles each way. 6 times. I either flew or drove to visit her and get to know her better. So you have to make a commitment to the area you're willing to drive to. And if a $10 bus pass is too much for you to meet your soulmate, then you better stay within your loop of about 12 feet. Maybe your dog is your soulmate. Have you ever thought that? Have you ever been diagnosed with anti-authority behavior? No, of course not. I've always been compliant and willing to obey authority at all times. Look at the recent swatting in our home about 9 weeks ago, in which I was abundantly compliant. Yeah, I don't have an authority problem. I'm not one of those people that would be, against our government either. I really support our government as long as we have better people running it, not a bunch of corrupt pigs who are whores willing to suck off the corporate tit forever and ever and ever while you get screwed. But I have no authority problems whatsoever. David, the song Johnny 99 by Bruce Springsteen describes how most blue-collar workers feel now. This economy, we have innocent people who are going to jail because of economy. I know, man. I had a chance to see Bruce Springsteen across the street, and I waved at him, and he waved at me. That's the closest I ever got to him. But yeah, the plight of blue-collar workers turning to petty crimes to support their family is terrible. It's got to stop. We need direct injections into food banks across the nation, and we need a backup grain reserve. We don't even have that. In America, there's no grain reserve whatsoever. You went stealth, good for you, Hawk Slammer. Yeah, everybody go stealth. We did this front forward with the full knowledge that things like that could happen. Sarah and I were fully aware of what could happen in the event. We didn't expect law enforcement to be unable to deal with the cyber threats that were coming in to their offices. It was their failure to actually weed out the truth, pull up my phone number, call me on the phone. It was a complete collapse, in my opinion, of local law enforcement and proper protocol. As president, I will do everything I can to get those guys up to speed so they don't break your doors down. And getting rid of the army, the armification of our local police force. I mean, there's nothing in our law, in the bylaws of our laws that allow these people to become army. In fact, we used to have posse comitatus, and now it's been removed completely from the legal framework of our government. Posse comitatus prevented the government from the army from being used against its own people in its cities in America. And now that's been nullified by NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act 2012 and 2014. Both of those years, Obama signed them into law, and it nullified posse comitatus. Russia is an organization, a nation that is open to communication. They're waiting desperately for a regime change in this country. And they're not going to be happy with Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, I assure you. Russia is going to want somebody who's willing to talk level-headed on every issue with Vladimir Putin and not turn it into a personal battle of wits or wills like Obama has done. Donald Trump is more likely to turn it into an ego battle because he grandstands all the time. He's not a humble human. He's not a very humble person. It's all about his ego, his way or the highway. Same with Obama. New pictures show a fantastic, spectacular launch of a nuclear Trident submarine missile off the coast of San Francisco. The thing that sparked, it was a Trident II D5 missile off the coast of California. This is a really interesting picture. They obviously did this missile test, with one intention. That's an ominous picture. Wow, that's quite a shot. They did it with one intention, and that was simply to make our enemies know that we're willing to fire in either direction, in my opinion. That we're willing to attack their incoming in an equal and quick manner. Apparently they were testing the capabilities. And the military can and will do this. And I've tried to make everybody aware for a long, long time that the Navy has already posted the environmental impact statement year after year, and the people just don't really care. They're not looking. I wrote letters to my congressman saying I objected. I even wrote a formal objection to the environmental impact statement that says that all of the Atlantic and the Pacific seaboards can be used as a nuclear, biological, and chemical testing area. So what they just did out of LA is completely within the scope of legality, believe it or not, as our laws are written now. And our officials are asleep at the switch. They don't have any clue. This is precisely why we need a brand new solution, a third party, to solve this problem. These two parties, I'm telling you, they're hook, line, and sinker controlled. And that's the very fundamental problem with our political structure right now, aside from the lack of free press, which is another huge factor. Huge. The fact that the free press doesn't work, that they're using predictive programming and repeated messaging all over the place, across the board, to get their constant message across, which is one of fear, of terrorism, justification for war overseas, which doesn't make any sense at all. And now a missile firing, a rattling of the sabers, or saber rattling they call it. Yeah. Saber rattling. That would be the best description of what this is. And you know, this is a completely concurrent with the type of crying wolf behavior that our president and his cronies like Hillary Clinton and John Kerry have put together. It's more of a case of sucking up to the people that want to control the world. And that's something I will not do. I will be working on your behalf as the American president and representative. And I'm not going to kowtow to corporate interests like Obama and Hillary or Donald Trump would do. That's the huge difference between me and those other people. Okay, Hogg's Dream has let me explain what happened with Russia. This is my out in the cold theory. The EU will expand itself tyrannically across the Mediterranean. To counter this power imbalance, Americans will be sold the idea of joining Canada, the U.S., and Central America into an economic, legal, and administrative union, like a North American Union or South. This is why the U.S. is being flooded with similar peasants and antipodal cultures like the Syrians and all of the... You know, you've got a very good point. Then Russia will be left out in the cold. Pardon the pun. China will be left with a simple choice. Which tyranny, either side of the Atlantic, does she want to join? Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective, but the breakdown of our borders are not happening at a rapid pace. You think this is a fake picture? Really? Our border is not breaking down as rapidly as you're describing it. And second of all, there's a tremendous backlash within our government against this tendency of our nation to kowtow to foreign interests. And joining Canada and breaking up our union and forming a larger North American Union is completely counter the popular vision for this country. Most people don't envision this country as being part of a global world order. And I believe that that's going to be one of the major linchpins in their problem. They're not going to be able to convince the American people to disarm as well. No matter what they do, no matter how many false flags they put out in front of us every day with BS stories of fake pictures, they're never going to be able to convert this nation into a bunch of mushhead idiots who are just going to stand around and give over their weapons. It's not going to happen. And they've seen this time and time again. Even with the controlled Congress, they still voted in favor of gun rights and against gun control. So you're onto something, but not really. You're onto their motive, their plan, their operandi, but you're not totally clear on the outcome, in my opinion. But I may be wrong. You may be right. All right, I forgot to unban Swingy Beef. Okay, I'll take care of that. Thank you. No problem. Hey, I appreciate coming in and talking. At least you guys... Hey, I've never wanted to ban people because I disagree with you. I want to make sure... Very rarely will I ever ban somebody because I flat out disagree with them. I did ban that guy who was against legalization this morning, so I kind of contradicted myself there. But for the most part, I really only ban for people that try to demoralize what we're trying to do. So you believe this is a time-lapse photo according to duct tape. Look at the car taillights. Ah, yes. Yes, you are absolutely right. Good point. It's a time-lapse photograph. As you look closely at the car taillights, You can see so much. Yeah. Oh, I can really tell, yeah. No, it's real, man. It's totally real. That is a missile that went over the skies. Thank you, Scissor Fight. Law enforcement can use Google Timeline to track your every move, everybody. They're already integrating with the Google social networking spy system that NSA has put in place. This is from the intercept.com. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? All the stuff we learn every night. It's fascinating. How law enforcement can use Google Timeline to track your every move. The recent expansion of Google's Timeline feature can provide investigators unprecedented access to users' locations, history data, allowing them in many cases to track a person's every move over the course of years, according to a report recently circulated to law enforcement. Wow. The personal privacy implications are pretty clear, but so are the law enforcement applications. According to the document titled Google Timelines, Location Investigations Involving Android Devices, which outlines the kind of information investors can now obtain. The timeline allows users to look back at their daily movements on a map. That same information is also potentially of interest to law enforcement. It's now possible to submit a legal demand to Google for a location history greater than 6 months old. You know, I don't think they have any location history on me. Primarily because everywhere I go, I'm free of RFID chips. I don't have any kind of internet communication going on outside of this location. Yeah, I don't have a tablet. I don't have a cell phone. But if you were smart, turn it off for the phone for any GPS. Yeah, you could pull your phone off, even disconnect your battery if you're really concerned. I'm not paranoid at all. I just don't have any tracking devices. I didn't buy into the lie, Beekman. I didn't buy a cell phone plan. That's one of the ways I save $200 a month. I use a thing called the Psychic Friends Network, which is now unaffiliated, to track any kind of phone messages coming into me. You really have to concentrate on the crystal ball in order to reach me. Yeah, I was very bored with Chris Hedges' sneak. Yeah, you have a video there. Chris Hedges talks incessantly on all these issues, but it's 3 hours of nonstop absolute boredom. I'm concerned about the psycho elites and how our civilization's being manipulated, yeah, but it's terribly boring. Whatever, Chris could use a little bit of an editing, work job done there. I'm even having a problem with Karen Hudis and her videos that she's releasing. They're kind of boring too. Truth is extremely boring, Dave. I know. Your lag bad? There you go. Yeah, this is the unaffiliated network that I'm not affiliated with anymore because I was never really affiliated with them. They've been setting mojos and doing a lot of little voodoo that you do when you do the doo-doo that you do. I don't do that stuff. No, I don't do voodoo. Now mojos, on the other hand, that's a different story. Yeah, I was kidding about the Psychic Friends Network, Beekman. You don't get it, do you? Wow. Only 2% of people actually use a mobile phone for something which is worth using a mobile phone for. The rest are texting Romanian women about boobs. Or is it bobs? Bobs? I believe the word boob has 2 O's in it. You got that underlip good going, yeah. Good underlip, yeah. You went to the high school with the DA. That sank her career. He's now Attorney General of Palm Beach County. You're a woman? I don't understand. You went to high school with a DA that sank her career. He's now Attorney General. So how did she become a he? Did she do a transgender operation after you dated her? Oh, he prosecuted Miss Cleo? Well, I have no affiliation with Miss Cleo whatsoever. I'm doing something with it with the big wig. Boob is pronounced boob until you have one in your mouth and it sounds like mob. So with a boob in your mouth, it sounds like Bob. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're so clever. Miss Cleo calls a retirement home. Let's check this out.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Can I please have your first name only and your birth date, please?
Who is this?
Caller, I'm Miss Cleo.
You know?
I'm Miss Cleo.
I can't play too much of that because there may be copyright infringement issues. Yeah. I remember a lot of things. You remember that one that you took the other day? I don't. U.S. Apache helicopter safely escorts ISIS into Syria. This story broke when I first started the show tonight, a long, long time ago. And now it's breaking even harder. Check this out. ISIS is traveling along and they're getting helicopter support from a U.S. Apache helicopter. Look at this. If this doesn't tell you that ISIS is a plan by the CIA to create the fear of terrorism, I don't know what does. Oh my gosh. Well, there you have it, everybody. Watching traffic on the street. A complete support from an Apache helicopter. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, these are the mercenaries our government's hiring to create havoc in the Middle East and then blame it on Russia or Assad. Yeah. Toyota, the official truck of ISIS. I know, wouldn't that be fantastic if they got an endorsement? Well, those could be UN vehicles, duct tape. It doesn't matter. The whole point is this video of the ISIS Toyotas that was taken about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Somebody actually contacted the Toyota company and found out that the only person or group that ever contacted and sent Toyotas to the Middle East was the U.S. State Department. I think they got their fingers caught in the cookie jar on that one, if you ask me. So it's your job, folks, to spread the message about how the government is lying to us right now. We need a better government, one that doesn't lie to the people of America. That's your job. I'm commissioning all of you to do that as quasi-representatives of this third movement. Mr. Anderson, we're not trying to do anything other than, put out fires, if anything. Right now, the global elitists are trying to create a covert war, stimulating our fears at the same time with propaganda and starting fires around the world. And believe me, once you start fires around the world with big, huge superpowers like Russia and China, you're playing big-time ball with the big guys. And this is not what we as a nation need strategically. Well, you're setting fires in your own bathroom. But let's be clear. All these ISIS forces are no doubt getting funding from some of our allies, especially the Jordanians. They had Jordanian training camps with mercenaries training to be ISIS soldiers about 1.5 years ago. So they're basically starting fires all around the universe, the known universe. I mean, wherever you want, you can put them in there, See, the whole theory is if they can start fires all around the world, their end game, their agenda, which is basically depopulation, will become a reality. So it's not hard to imagine them just continually fueling wars with economic hits on countries like Syria, like they did with Libya. And basically starting fires around the entire nation, stimulating civil unrest, and they win there too, because then they can initiate martial law and then systematically put all of the people in the camps. Sound familiar, huh? Yeah, you are starting to realize this is a Nazi plan. And they embedded in the United States government. You see, we won the war against the Germans. We won the war against the Japanese. But we did not win the war against the Nazis. The new do is kind of my new look for Mondays. Thank you. No, they're not on fire. I'm just saying they're willing to start fires. It's an analogy. I'm not a pyromaniac. Yeah, they are trying to start the war. And this is what Nazis did. They started wars all around Germany and initiated a strong process of global domination. Sound familiar? Now they're implementing this plan through the UN, the IMF, the World Bank, and good old US, the United States Corporation. Not the United States of America, mind you. That's a different entity. You and I are citizens of the United States of America. That's a defunct country right now. I know you're kidding. But that's a defunct country. The United States of America has been in bankruptcy since 1933. It doesn't exist except on paper. Yeah, they created the Trilateral Commission and the Council on Foreign Relations, and they own the Fed. And you know when they created the IRS in 1936? I believe it was 1936. Let me verify that. It was created in 1936, I believe. Anyway, yeah, 1913 it marked the beginning of the Federal Reserve. The Act of 1935, okay. The history of the U.S. tax system. So right around the Act of 1935, they created the IRS, which was the arm of the Federal Reserve. So whenever you guys pay taxes, thank you. You don't like my haircut? Mountain Pine does not like my haircut. Yeah. When you send money to the IRS for your tax revenue, it goes to allegedly to the Treasury Department, right? Well, they actually send it directly to Belgium to simply pay the interest on our debt. Your taxes are going directly to the people that are controlling our country through the Federal Reserve. It's not going to run the country. They borrow money to do that, and they're borrowing $1 trillion over budget every year. Former U.S. Air Force lieutenant has stated that Obama's Syrian strategy is an illegal embarrassment. I like that. Thank you. Zero Hedge has this story. Wow. If there's anybody that should become abundantly clear over the past several months, it's that Washington's strategy in the Middle East is coming apart at the seams. To be sure, there's no reason why intelligence officials in the U.S. should have ever thought the Syrian gambit was going to work. Playing on the Sunni-Shiite divide can certainly be effective when it comes to creating chaos, but it's a notoriously risky way to go about things, and it's fraught with uncertainty. The Pentagon should know this all too well. After all, it was the very same jihadists who the U.S. supported in the Soviet Afghan war that ended up flying commercial airlines into the U.S. targets on 9/11. Well, that's because they don't care who's hitting the country or who's hitting what country. It doesn't matter who's the country. They're literally siphoning money out of every single dollar you got. No, I would not go shopping in my new hairdo. No. Unless I really felt like I wanted people to look at me. I try to blend in. I look kind of like a zombie or one of the Walking Dead whenever I'm in my, normal behavior in town. Most everyone around here looks a little dazed and confused from all the fluoridation in the water, and I try to blend in. Kind of like you've got paper slippers on and you've got Thorazine and you're bumping into the walls. So I don't want to look too out of the ordinary. Yes, sir, the debt is a pyramid scheme. Well, Hawkster, the Fed deserves their position because they control Congress. Isn't that obvious? Because nobody in Congress oversees the Fed. I'm telling you guys, the only way we're going to stop the Fed from continuing their tyranny over your pocketbook, and they're taxing you in ways that I can't even describe. Inflation itself is a tax. Your money in your pocket is disintegrating right now as they print up money and give it away to cronies and Wall Street executives. and people like Donald Trump. The reason you're poor is because Donald Trump is rich. And he's not even rich by the old standard of making money. He's rich by the old standard of borrowing money, the new standard of borrowing money. I am the, shagalific, baby. You're saying I'm the international shag, man of mystery. Oh, behave. No, actually, this is my new look for Monday. I run the show as long as I can for about half an hour before somebody criticizes my hair, and then I put this on. It's just a new little gimmick I do for Mondays. You have bigger problems than the Fed once world government expands Agenda 21 next month. I hear you, swinging beef. That's why this country is going to kind of go solo. We're going to separate from the Agenda 21 verdict and become our own nation again, if you guys choose to vote for me. We're not going to be the yes men from around the world. We're not going to be their police force doing their dirty deeds done dirt cheap. And that dirt cheap is more like $1.5 trillion for Iraq and Afghanistan. It's not cheap at all. It's draining our nation, and we Americans need to wake up to that. The two parties will never get us out of war, but we will at the third party. Thank you, Adele. You like my wig? Cool. Hey, it's already past the end of the show. As you know, I am only allotted a certain amount of time to talk to you. I must go in and watch Survivor with Sarah. We're in the final few minutes of a Netflix episode, or actually it's Amazon Survivor show. So we're going to wrap that up tonight. Tomorrow I will be doing Truth Tuesday to talk about 9/11. Let's see what this link about the former U.S. comptroller, what that has to say here. There's a lot of things going on that most Americans are unaware of. Our government literally is our crony, popular government officials are siphoning money out of the budget for themselves.
The former U.S. Comptroller General says the real U.S. debt is closer to about $65 trillion than the oft-cited figure of $18 trillion. The former Comptroller General, who is in charge of ensuring federal spending is fiscally responsible, said a growing national debt hampers the ability of government to carry out both domestic and foreign policy initiatives, and said Americans have lost touch with reality when it comes to spending.
That's right. The former ex-GAO, Government Accounting Office, he's very forthright about this too. Yeah, but I can tell you that we will be able to restructure our debt when I finish off the bankruptcy of the United States of America and reemerge out of Chapter 11. And in the process, we'll have an infrastructure bank ready to go, and we'll begin dissolving the Fed, retiring their charter by the end of 2017. That's my plan. And in the process, we bolster our own equity, we pull our assets away from foreign involvement, and we begin to feel the oats of our nation again and get back to the core element of our nation's economy, which is our agriculture. I have great hopes for this country, I really do. But I had to literally wade through a tremendous amount of opposition at all levels to get noticed. There is no real open press or free press in America anymore. This is a brand new event that actually involves a new voice in American politics. And the only way I can articulate the plan is to build this third party. So I want to thank all of you for coming into this, pretty intense show that started out kind of flat with a lot of people just really not sure what's going on with the government testing weapons in the air. It's disturbing because nobody wants their government to just do things and lie to them. But yeah, this third party is in the formative stages still, even after 7 years, but we still keep going forward. We're not going to stop and we're not going to give up because we believe that the American people need to wake up. There's no way we're going to be able to do this by being asleep. And I think these shows really help to waken people up. They really do. So thanks again for coming into our show. We talked a lot about some interesting things. The emergence of technologies that could very well jeopardize our freedoms, like the social networks, the NSA. A recent court decision by a judge saying the NSA has to be accountable for eavesdropping on the American people, and it can't just go under the change of leadership process and the new laws. They have to be accountable. So we talked about that. I showed you a robot that was bizarre in nature. This is perhaps the most... Look at this.
Why is your favorite color?
I don't know why it happened, but we should try to figure it out.
I don't quite understand what you said. I heard that you said something.
So that was 10-year-old technology of that robot sitting there pretending to be a human. You can imagine where they're at now. Lots could happen in 10 years, especially when technology is screaming forward. But we've got a lot of videos tonight to discuss, and we've got a lot of false flag stuff on YouTube that I think all of us are going to want to look at. There's a guy out there that Scissor Fight's been dropping links on for us called PK22. And I'm going to just go into the PK22 library that we have and play some of his issues that he has with all these videos that keep popping up on the mainstream media, which makes me want to scream just thinking about how many lies are going on. Stories, one after them. We got another guy named Professor Doom. But the first one I'm going to play you is PK talking about MH17 being faked. The one that attempts to pin the blame on Russia for the down to MH17 line. He does a good job of talking about all that. All right, thank you, man. Let's bring on the truth, folks.
Till now, we don't see any vision of any missile, any plume shooting up into the sky.
Well, I don't mind watching a little mainstream Survivor because I just like seeing Jeff Probst continually go, "Come on in, guys." When he's not talking to guys, he's talking to girls too, and he's telling them to come on in, and they keep coming out. It's just the funniest thing. I get a kick out of it every time I see it. Sarah and I sometimes like to chill out and watch average stuff like normal people in America. Don't worry about me watching mainstream though. I usually just watch it on video on demand. I don't catch a live stream of it. It's always selected. David, what do you propose we do with our welfare-addicted friend in the South, La Puerto Rico? Swingy Beef, I believe that Puerto Rico wants to remain a territory. They don't want to become a U.S. state. There actually was a vote put to the test, and they said no. So, you can't, twist their arm and say, yeah, it could become a state. Plus, it would cost everybody a lot of money to add another star to their states. We have to keep adding stars, and you think of all the Chinese flags we'd have to change. All right. I bring you the MH17 PK22 analysis of it. Thank you for coming in to our show. I'll see you tomorrow from 5 to 9 Pacific time. Thanks for coming in. See you later.
We don't see any explosions in the sky. We don't see any fireballs of a plane shooting down to the ground. All we see is a video of someone who just happened to take a vision of an explosion on the ground with a huge puff of smoke. Huge smoke. I mean, the question must be asked, if something that was shot in the air, 33,000 feet in the air, it would explode into thousands of pieces and fall to the sky and spread everywhere, and even the fuel will burn instantly, and that would be its explosion. So how could we have this